And we are back. Hello, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us here tonight. Looks like we have a good pie boy here hanging out with us. We do
Hello.
appreciate it. Good sir, we are here with another episode of Here on the Wastes, episode number 29. This episode is brought to you by Tide um, and Papa
Tide.
John Pizzas. Papa Juan Pizzas.
Papa John's, huh?
It's Papa Juan. This game is Horizons Unknown After Earth RPG. My name is Scott, aka Shogi. I am your chief architect today. I am the designer and creator of this game. This is a science fiction fantasy game that is set in the distant future of 2422 on an alien planet known as Soldaria. We have our wonderful cast here this evening. We have Mr. Rand 118. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing great. Ready to fight some mysterious people in the shadows.
Oh, you will. We have Shane O'Mac, my brother from another mother. How you going, sir?
Doing well. What's going on?
Good. And we got the good sir here, Mike. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, doing great.
From
guys.
now on, he will be known as the Ebola historian, Mike.
Oh god, not gonna live that one down.
Again, this is session number 29. We're gonna just jump in. We have a lot to cover this evening. If you want to get caught up on what's going on with the world of Soldaria itself and Rev's rejects, even though they're not Rev's rejects at this point, because Otis is dead.
All the rejects are gone.
All the rejects are gone.
Just
Otis
Rev
and Skag
you
have
guys.
perished. He does have Marvin though. You can definitely check out the YouTube where I do post all our sessions there. So go ahead and just subscribe, check it out, and just catch up and enjoy. Either or, we're gonna just jump right in. Tonight, session 29 is called Where This Stops, No One Knows. As last we left our group, you stealthily entered Warband. You found out that it seems, at least on the outside, to be relatively low tech. Not much in regards to any similarities to some of the other cities that you've had experience with. Definitely, it's probably on the other end of the spectrum in regards to what Los Rivos, even San Dormo, and what Overton Hill have been. But you did notice that it is still full of mystery and history. I did not mean to rhyme either one of those. Rev was able to infiltrate using Mirage rather stealthily, and found out that there seems to be a history of enlightened ones, of their ideology, their beliefs in a Quran, the Darkborn, a dark, shadowy figure that seems to be the purifier of Soldaria, some kind of ancient beast that comes every 2,700 years or 1,200 years to pretty much purify Soldaria. And you did find out information that since the arrival of humans, only about 400 years ago, that Quran has been, that at least the group has been trying to summon Quran again from its deep slumber. To what extent, you do not know, but you do know as you investigated, you've delved deeper into Warband, going down the spiral staircase. You feel that there's a heavy weight that seems to be affecting each one of you. Dark enchantments have been placed within this area upon the walls, but also a low humming, surging power that the good doctor was able to pick up. As you did try to venture farther in order to do your mission by planting your beacons in strategic uh, targeted areas in order to help triangulate and destroy warband via a orbital strike. Rev has ventured into a very, very large chamber. The large chamber had the night sky enchantment upon its ceiling. These stars were not, though, part of the enchantment. They seemed to be these glowing, crystalline gems or minerals that seem to be embedded into the ceiling wall itself. As well as there seems to be a gigantic altar, a circular altar that stands right in the middle, surrounded by a aqueduct. There seems to be 4 pedestals as Rev ventured in closer. On one of the pedestals, he did notice a grimoire that seemed eerily familiar, as well as a single, very small individual that seemed to be on its knees praying. With that, Rev, you are the only one that is currently inside the chamber itself. Is there anything you would like to be doing?
What I wanted to do, I think I did this last time where I kind of went
You were
around
kind of
the
making your way
perimeter.
around the perimeter, correct?
Cool. What I'd like to do is I'd like to stop exactly opposite from the door that I entered, where Doc and Voldo are waiting behind.
Mhm.
I want to be on the opposite side. And what I would like to do is I would like to take my beacon and set it up against the wall in a nondescript location if I can do it stealthily. That's what I would like to do first.
Okay, so you do feel like this could be a target of importance.
Yes, I think
Strategically.
this might be a room I would want be included in the blast. Yes.
Okay.
Especially seeing that book that I
Sure.
know is a bad thing.
Absolutely. You absolutely can see even a little bit of a feels moment comes the moment that you're like, whoa, that again? But you do know where it now rests.
Yeah, I know that causes chaos and takes over a person.
Yes.
Or at least something like it.
You are absolutely 100% in Mirage, so you're not having any issues with it. So we're going to do 2 things. Roll sneak with favor.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Roll sneak with blessed favor. So it's that number plus 5 now.
Oh, okay.
Because you're completely Mirage has been upgraded due to the good doctor here.
Sure. Okay. Cool. With the plus 5, I got a 15.
Okay. You were able to make your way without bumping into anything, as you do feel like you don't want to like lose I still want to have visual contact with this person.
Yes.
Because you just don't know, and because that grimoire is right there in front of them, and you know
I don't
what it
want
can
that
do.
thing like doing a Chucky and attacking somebody.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. So you're kind of like, doing a lot of this as you're trying to move in and out. Go ahead and let's give you what role do we got here?
I have engineering. If setting up this thing would include some sort of engineering to set up this beacon device.
Roll
I have
roll deafness first.
Deafness, okay.
Because you're gonna try to pull this thing out without bumping into a few things. Gingerly put it in somewhere. That it's gonna be revealed once you place it, because it does not have Mirage itself.
Right, exactly. It doesn't have a cloaking device.
It does not.
14 deafness.
Okay. You don't seem to have any issues. Okay. You kind of fumble quickly, and you're able to steal yourself, put it back. Just grab hold of that, not to lose it, not to have anything slip.
Good thing it's not 3 feet long, just a foot long.
Yeah. 3 feet long would just be too much. And you're able to place it in a rather tucked away area that seems to be in between a boulder and a rock and some kind of large large wooden construction that you can't really truly make out. But roll investigation, awareness, whichever one you like to roll.
Okay, awareness I have, so
Okay,
I'll
go
roll
ahead.
that. With awareness, I rolled an 18.
18. You notice that this thing that you're trying to place it up against, this wood construction, number one, goes almost all the way from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. And the ceiling is probably 25 feet high.
Okay.
And it is a bookcase.
A bookcase? So I'm kind of putting it, kind of leaning up against the back of this bookcase kind of thing?
A very, very large book.
Yeah, okay.
Filled with books.
Okay.
So you do kind of find a place that you figure that it's low lit enough that unless somebody came over there with a torch, they would be able to see it. But in this case, bearing all the circumstances and the situation, it might be the best place you can kind of tuck it away, at least for now.
Okay.
As it happens, what is the good doctor, Marvin, and Voldo doing? You can't actually see at all what, obviously, Rev is doing since he is in Mirage.
Is my visual feed still able to work down here that I've been sending to their sidekicks previously?
It is, but it seems to be distorted, cutting in and out.
Okay.
Some of the images even freeze for moments before it kind of picks up the transmission. So that's kind of like what you guys see. You're not getting a clear, fluid idea of what he's actually seeing and looking at. And a lot of it for you is completely low lit.
And we each have one of these beacon devices.
You each have one of them. That is correct.
How far are we from Rev?
No idea.
You guys
Yeah.
You have no idea where Rev is.
I entered in the door. You guys were stayed outside the door, I think was what
Correct.
the plan was. So all you guys see is the intermittent feed from my...
Well,
So we see,
I guess.
so we see nothing inside of the room.
Well, I think we
Relatively
can
low lit.
deduce.
You can deduce that this is some kind of very large cavern. You do see that it's mountain face. That the floor itself seems to be almost like cobblestone tiled. So there is some elaborateness, at least to this room itself. You did not make out where he actually physically tucked it away. There's just too much distortion, too much interference that seems to be down here. That seems to be much more, much stronger than it was just above when you were at the top of the staircase itself.
Do we see anybody inside the room?
Go ahead, and if you could, Rev, roll for Marvin. Roll to see awareness to see if you can pick up anything. It is a very, very low lit room.
2.
11.
Marvin rolled an 18.
Marvin is able to pick up on what the last figure that he saw when Rev was doing the perimeter sweep and saw that kind of that kneeling individual. That would have been the last thing you saw as well, Voldo, and the last thing you saw as well, Doctor. In regards to a physical presence, that's it.
Okay. So I guess I will start walking in first. I am going to just try to very slowly, with no noise, creep in as slow as possible until I actually see somebody.
Okay. What are you gonna do, Doctor? As you see Voldo just kind of like walk into the low lit room.
I'm just gonna look around and see if there are any other pathways or any other ways to go, just to take a mental note. And
remember, there was only one way in. Are you trying to see anything beyond that? Rev is the only one that I know that has night vision. So you don't have the ability to
I'm
see.
just gonna go in. I'll go in behind Baldo.
Okay, kind of like single file a little bit. Or you
Yeah.
kind of like
Walking on top of my steps.
Okay. Voldo walks, and the good doctor sweeps those steps behind him,
Yeah, there we go.
and then Marvin sweeps the doctor's steps. What do you want Marvin?
Yeah,
to
Marvin
go?
will trail, and he wants to. Once he gets in the room, he wants to immediately go to the side to clear the doorway.
Okay. And you gentlemen are just kind of making your way in. So go ahead and roll sneak for each one of you. Roll awareness
as well.
roll awareness and sneak for Marvin.
I got 11.
13.
Marvin got 1 for awareness and 19 for sneak.
He runs into the wall repeatedly.
But very quietly.
Yeah.
Marvin doesn't seem to be making any footstep sounds. Unfortunately, because he has no spatial or visual awareness, he does run into something. It's the sound of, for you, Rev, you automatically hear it. It's the sound of somebody running into a bookshelf. You hear,
Wow.
you hear the wood creak. Starts to creak as it almost sways a little bit, and you hear like the shifting of heavy tomes and books, ever so slightly before it's.
Is this the bookshelf right next to me?
No.
Or is this a different one?
He's on the entrance in. Right when you turned, there was a bookshelf that seems to wrap all the way around.
Okay. I'm gonna zero in and try to see what that sound was.
What do you two do the moment you hear this?
I just look at Marvin and kind of just freeze a little bit.
I'm going to quickly try to sneak the opposite direction of where that
Marvin
noise
was
came
and go
from.
the other way. Okay.
Exactly.
You kind of like quick step over like
Exactly.
With that, the good doctor kind of freezes in the middle. Marvin is just like holding on to the shelf, trying to like steady it, and just thinking to himself,
all the books from falling out.
I was doing so good. When Rev, you notice and you hear the sounds of a small groan.
Coming from the center of the room or somewhere else? Okay.
And then a heavy breath. You take a look, you investigate, you just stay where you're at.
Do I know that they have come in? Do I know that Marvin was the one that caused this little disturbance in the
You don't know
corner?
specifically if it was Marvin.
You assume.
You just know it had to be somebody.
Okay.
Unless it was somebody else that you were not aware of was actually in the room.
Nah, I'll probably assume that it was my people coming in. Sure. Since I feel like we have kind of revealed ourselves, I would like to use splitting image. And what I would like to do is I would like to project my image closer to where this person is in the middle and attempt to have it appear that my image is speaking to this person.
Okay, so just right outside the altar itself.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. You absolutely do that. Not an issue there. In what way do you present your image?
I want it to. I don't want to make it look threatening. Basically, like a non-threatening, casual stance as I basically greet whatever this is.
Okay. Doctor, what are you doing? You're the only person at this point that you're aware of that is standing almost right in the middle of the distance between where that door was and that altar. Voldo has left you, and Marvin is just propped up against the door.
Rev is the only thing that's heard this sound.
Yes, up to this
Meaning
point. Up to this
the
point.
growl
Yeah.
or whatever.
Because essentially Rev's a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over to where Marvin is and just look around and see. I want to just kind of get an idea of where we are. I want to take in any information I can based on anything I know, and utilize any knowledge I may have of what the hell where we are. Just
Okay.
Basically,
as you try to move back to where Marvin is, and you notice Marvin's just still holding on to some kind of large wooden pillar until you start to get closer to him. Braziers start to slowly light within the room on each wall. So the north end, the west, the east, and the south, which would have been right next essentially to the door itself. It doesn't bring a lot of light into it, but it's enough that you now see that small figure that was kneeling is now standing upright. The figure never seems to, other than that, move. And it doesn't seem that it really notices your presence because it doesn't make any other kind of movement towards you. You figure that maybe it just heard the sound and stood up. It doesn't give you any, when you're looking at it as well and you're kind of eyeing it, Rev, it doesn't seem to give you any kind of hostile stance or intent or presence initially. It just merely stood up. Probably at that point, it's only standing about maybe 4.5 inches off the ground. Relatively a small figure itself.
4.5 inches?
Wait.
4.5 feet, sorry.
Okay.
Say,
An
wow.
easy win.
Yeah, I went to say
Tiny elf.
I step on
4
him.
feet 5 inches is what I meant to say.
Okay.
4 feet 5,
Okay.
yeah, about 4.5 feet.
Okay. I have this Mirage set up. What I want to do before I make any sort of contact is I would like to try to message the others on my sidekick and say, what's our play? Do we make contact? So basically to all of my teammates there.
Okay.
I said, go ahead, you first.
Um,
Oh wait, no. I say send in Carlin.
I was like, who's Carlin? I don't know. George.
I don't
Carlin?
know. I don't know if we should make contact.
I feel like we're a bit late at this point.
I'm thinking more like crouch and observe and see what this guy's gonna do. I figure if anyone's gonna make contact, it'll be him. He's got to know we're there at this point.
That's why I feel it would be weird if we all just sat there staring at him.
True.
Okay, so you guys are just
Oh wait,
I'm
you know
gonna-
what? Go for it. Okay, in that case,
I'm gonna take one of those books. Oh, sorry.
Go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
take
Go
a
for
book
it.
and I'm gonna throw it across the room.
Oh, okay.
okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna try
In the
and
complete opposite direction.
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna actually try to crouch directly beneath one of those lights that just turned on, so I can kind of hide in like the shadow that's cast by whatever is like holding up it.
It's a
know,
brazier that's on the ground.
I was on the ground. Never mind. I say go for it.
Okay, so you actually go over to that bookshelf,
Mm-hmm.
pull one of the books off, and fling it at this point towards Voldo.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm not thinking that it's go. I just want it to go in a direction that'll make more noise and see if this thing turns around.
You said
Can I try to catch it?
Here's the thing: is where would you like to throw it in? You don't
Well,
know.
away
You don't
from-
know where Rev is. You have no idea where Rev is at this point. You have no idea where Voldo is.
Anywhere that I know someone is not.
You have no
whether Rev's
idea.
there or not.
Yeah.
You don't have the arm to throw it
So
over.
I don't see. I don't know
He
where
could, like, just
Marvin
drop it
is
right
or
in front
Baldo
of
at this
Marvin,
point.
Marvin is essentially is behind you, right next to you. He was up against the
Throw it,
bookcase
Marvin.
This
that you
place
took
is
the book
big
in.
enough and dark enough to where I have no idea where Baldo is, too.
Again, Rev is a mirage. You have no idea where
What
he
I
is.
said is, I don't know where he is,
Right.
but I do know where these two are. So I'm going to throw it wherever these two are not. When I said anyone, I meant them because I don't know where Rev is. I'm sorry. Let me clarify.
Okay.
If I hit Red, I hit Rev.
You're just talking about
Anywhere-
Marvin and Voldo. Those are the two last
Yes.
guys. Gotcha.
Thank
Okay.
you, because I don't know of anyone else in the room.
Okay. Go ahead and pick it up and toss it.
Yeet.
Rev, about 1 foot away,
Yeah.
a large tome slams right in front of you.
I, as stealthily as I can, hop back in alarm and go, "What the hell?"
You didn't see where it came from? You have no idea because obviously your focus is now on your illusion.
Sure, yeah.
And this tome just slams right in front of you. Immediately, the figure snaps its head in Rev's direction and sees his vision,
Sees the mirage.
the holographic image.
Oh, the splitting image vision. Yeah. Okay. Well, now that Rev knows he has this figure's attention, he has no choice, and he tries to use like a combination of his sidekick and his voice mechanics to try to make it appear that his mirage is saying, or his splitting image is saying, "We bring greetings from the outside world."
And fuck yo book.
Doesn't say that.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know he was visible at this point.
No, this is a splitting
Mirage.
image. It's a mirage vision that I can project.
Well, how was he able to see you when we weren't?
He can see the mirage.
Okay,
But we
I think
couldn't?
you're being confused. Mirage means I'm invisible. Splitting image
That's
is
right.
a holographic
Projection.
projection that I have placed in front of me so that this person doesn't know where I
A
actually am.
deceptive measure.
It's like a targeting dummy in WoW. It's a fake thing that it gives visuals.
Okay, so essentially, you're doing the whole "I come in peace." Do you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you like you do the whole
well-
bow as well?
I was in a non-threatening stance. I don't bow. I don't make any sort of gesture because I don't know what that would translate to for this person. So all I do is say, "I bring greetings from the outside world."
You did just throw the book on the ground, though, he thinks.
All right, just to clarify, the Mirage was set up. What exactly was it an image of?
It's Rev. It's me. It's an image of me projected out. Holographic image of myself. If you
I
want to
see
read
what
about
Shane.
it, look
I
at
see what Shane
Cyberjack.
is saying. I see
Look
what
at-
Shane is saying, though. Is
What
if
I'm
he
saying
didn't
is,
see
though, why
Shane,
didn't I
why
see
didn't
it?
he see?
And
Yeah.
why is it? I wouldn't have thrown it over there if I thought you were visible in any way.
Yeah. He's.
So I'm
like-
wondering how that could have brought attention to something that we
It's
didn't
again,
even
it's
know.
relatively low light for you.
And why would you have been projecting an image of yourself to begin with?
Because that's what he did.
If you were,
That's what he decided to do.
I did that because I'm trying to distract this thing from knowing where I am or any of you are, because I don't know if it's a threat. So I'm trying to project something that she can attack or he can attack that is not something that will take
That is
damage.
not
did you
physical.
do that before or after I threw the book?
I did that before you guys all talked about coming in the room and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's just on the opposite side of the room, and we can't see that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What brings you here?
Ooh.
No, I don't say we because that would let him know there's more than one of us. I am an ambassador trying to learn about those who dwell beneath this mountain.
You come here to worship.
Before I came here, I did not know that there was something to worship.
You don't know about our ways, and yet you come here. You venture within our walls with no understanding of who we are. It sounds like lies and deception, just like this hologram that you have presented in front of me. So
When one does not know who they are. Sorry, what was that?
So who are you?
We are ambassadors from another people, like I said.
I'm gonna type real quick. X-nay on the Wii.
Who do you mean when you say we? Is there more than just you here within my library?
I would assume you'd know, since you know that this projection is not real.
I can smell you, but I cannot see you. What sort of
Do you know-
enchantment is upon you?
What sort of enchantment is on you when you have this grimoire so close to you?
It reaches his hand out and places on the grimoire and strokes it.
You come seeking this. You come seeking power. You are a thief.
I want no part of that power. I have seen how that power corrupts.
You have seen it.
A friend of mine came under the influence of such a power.
And what happened to him?
Chaos, destruction, death.
He was unworthy and not deserving of such power.
The braziers now grow even brighter and stronger and starts to truly illuminate the room. Marvin, the good doctor, Voldo, see that this seems to be in every wall. 15 feet high bookshelves filled with all sorts of books and tomes. This is a grand library. And centered in the middle is this altar and pedestal, which would seem to be their most powerful tomes and grimoires, though only one sits upon the altar. And this individual seems to be its keeper, its watcher, its protector. And with that, the doors behind this library close and slam.
You don't belong here, do you? You are not from these regions. You do not know our ways. You must leave unless you wish to be sacrificed to the great darkness. A darkness and a sacrifice which would greatly accept. So when all of you come forward and show me who truly you are to venture into my library.
I just start walking towards him.
I want to, on my sidekick without saying anything, type out quickly, destroy the book or separate it from that figure. That will lessen the power.
Okay, I'm gonna walk towards him and try to position myself close to the book, but also like close to him and make it not look like I'm trying to get close to the book.
Even before Voldo, you even make a move, the now visible figure that was standing upon the altar, probably at this point, maybe 20 feet away. You do see that the doctor's probably 15 feet away. And Rev's image is probably merely 6 or 7 feet just outside the altar itself.
Mm-hmm.
That the figure, as well as Rev and the doctor, disappears immediately and blinks right behind Voldo.
Oh.
Cool.
Without even you noticing, he seems to be right over your shoulder, and he merely sniffs the air around you
Not weird.
before he blinks back towards the altar. And is standing exactly like he was before, with the grimoire in his hand, unfolded out, merely floating in front of him.
Do you choose to leave?
I didn't understand that. I'm sorry.
Do you choose to leave?
No. I don't.
I want to ask him when he said worship, who is he worshiping?
There's a silence, and then a sigh of almost disgust to hear you even say that.
How would you not know? Have you seen the legends? You come forth in the slumber of Quran, the dark Lord, true master, Saldari, the purified, the enlightened, and in many ways the tormented. You should bow the knee before me.
Rev, through his projection, says, "Bow before you. Are you the Darkborn?"
I am not, but I am his grand librarian. These tombs, these tomes, these books, artifacts, they belong to him. The history of all our people, of all our time, of all of Saldari, and even beyond.
If you are not the Darkborn, where is he?
And why should we bow to you?
Because if you don't, I will make bow. These are my chambers, and you are unwelcome guests. Time to die, gentlemen. The library is now closed.
Sounds like a raid encounter in WoW.
The chamber now rages with light. The enchantment almost can't even be seen at this part because there's just too much light that is being now cast from the braziers, and some braziers that weren't there, that you didn't notice there before, that seem to range up the sides of the walls themselves. As you look around, you do see that this whole chamber, in almost 360 degrees, is filled with bookshelves, tomes, parchments, and such. There seems to be great ladders that seem to be propped up against it that allows it to reach, obviously, the higher parts. Each one of the bookshelves seems to be engraved with more of the history that you have noticed on the outside, and even maybe some kind of ancient texts and such. And as you see the figure standing before you with the grimoire open, floating in front of him, you do notice that there seems to be that that gold glow that you had saw last time, Rev, from the
Gold
runes.
glow over what?
on the grimoire itself, from the runes itself, that gave it that hazy gold glow.
And is this the one that the figure is holding that I'm seeing this coming from?
Not holding it, is merely floating in front of you.
Okay.
And you do notice that this small figure now seems to grow larger and larger before you, before it seems to become a hulking mass, standing almost 12 feet, hunched over. Its hands seem to extend beyond the cuff of its robes itself. And what you see are these long, almost spider-like hands, like spider legs that seem to help prop itself up. And at the end seems to be like these razor-sharp talons in the end of them. Extreme beyond just elongated. You think you're looking at something that these fingers are maybe even like 3 or 4 feet in distance by themselves as they kind of like spider web out. That this face that seems to be clouded in just pure shadow, all you can see is some kind of blindfold wrap around its eyes and a distressed, distorted, corrupted face with these huge, long, almost razor-like teeth that seems to be just drooling some kind of acid. Whatever that small thing was is now this monstrosity that is now before you. And with that, each one of you roll reaction, please.
Okay. Reaction. -3 for Rev.
Okay.
Did you ever give me a reaction for Marvin? You gave me these updated things, but I don't think there is a reaction.
No reaction for Marvin.
So just a roll for him.
Yep.
What dice we rolling?
D20.
D20 minus your reaction. 3 for Marvin.
11.
13.
I was half thinking we can tell him we're here to worship too. Just pretend.
Yeah, you're welcome to try. I think we
exactly. Go ahead.
Would you like?
Yeah, it's too late now.
Huh.
That's because that was one of the things I thought about saying before we even came in.
Based
on what we saw on the wall.
I got an idea.
Would you like to say something to him before he does? Because he does not have the first reaction.
He doesn't what?
He does not have the first reaction. Rev is going to have the first reaction. So would you like to say something before this fight?
I want to. I'll just pull it out of my rear.
Go for it.
I'm going to just address my comrades. And I'm going to say we need to tell them why we're here. We need it. Calm down. Calm down. Whoever you are. Look, we've heard rumors of this place. We've heard rumors of what can be done here. And when we approached this room, our beliefs were confirmed. We had no idea about a library. We didn't know who you were or what you were. We didn't know what we were dealing with. But please understand, if it is your wish to worship the Darkmoor to awaken, essentially, then we share a common goal. Show us how to do this. Let us join you.
Roll.
And we'll be on our way to spread the word and draw people here.
Roll deception.
10.
He's got a first target.
You know nothing. I smell lies and deception all over, my child.
Well, I'm not your child.
You will be. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Prove me a liar,
Oh,
Daddy.
I will. Once you're dead.
Rev,
Yes.
The Darkmoor would not be happy with you.
You're still talking. Stand proud. It will soon be over for you. I am happy that you ventured this far down. That you survived enchantments. I do not know how you got past our doors. But you have a silver tongue. And silver tongues we usually find attached to liars, deceivers, and cheats. Plus,
Well, this place.
I don't like my hat.
Saw those
no,
upgrades.
Now you've gone too far. This place is alive, and it knows our pure intentions. That's why we were let in. It knows why we're here.
If that's what
But
you,
if
that's what you believe, then step forward. Present yourself here in front of me, and place your hand on the grimoire, and it will tell us your true intent.
If Doc starts talking toward that grimoire, I'm starting this fight. Because I know what these grimoires do to people.
I don't need a book to prove. I don't need a book to prove what I'm here for. You've already drawn the line in the sand. You either believe me or you don't. I can worship from within.
Wonderful. Shall we begin?
I already begun.
and the hulking mass that's just kind of like moving almost like a turtle at this point because it's so huge, merely just kind of like shifts itself from side to side.
Are we ready? Shall we begin?
Rev's answer is to use Mystical Blade and throw his Naginata at this thing to try to disable one of its sword arm hands.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is Mystical Blade. I haven't used this one before, I don't think, so let me read it out real quick. Mystical Blade is Cyber Jackal throws with power and accuracy its sword, impaling its victim 30-foot range.
Okay.
So, do I have this? And I have 1 skill point, so I get to roll 2d6 for this, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. As he prepares to throw, he says, "You are corrupted by your evil power."
In case you're wondering, good doctor.
In case he wonders why I'm attacking him.
of course.
All right, I rolled 2 5s.
Okay, so you do hit.
Okay, and the damage is 2d8 times 3 is the damage.
Ooh, nice. In case if it makes you happy, Shane, Pie Boy says it was a good idea though.
Nice try to talk to him after he's transformed into his,
Probably should talk to him when he was like small man.
As cliche as it may have been.
9 times 3, so 27 damage.
Okay, nice.
Does my Calarium blade upgrade apply to this throne version of it?
It always applies because it is your Calarium blade. Hey, okay. We got Burgher.
Hey, it's Burgher.
Hey, Otis is in the house.
So it would be +1 damage, +1 penetration then with that attack.
Okay, so it bypasses the armor rating. So what does that gives you in total? 20? Is that 28? Yep.
Yeah, 28. It'll be 28 damage.
Okay, nice. So you fling your blade at essentially the hand.
Yeah, whichever hand. Well, I guess neither hand's holding the grimoire. Whichever
No,
hand's closer to the grimoire is what I want to throw it at.
the grimoire is essentially just floating in front of it.
Okay.
So neither one seems to be on it.
Okay.
But obviously you probably hit the one that is closest to you.
Sure. Yeah. There you go.
It hits, and it just bounces off,
Oh.
and that's the one that blinks right back to you, right?
Yes. If I spend an extra exhaust,
Okay.
the blade returns.
So
and I do want to do that.
Okay, so as you toss it, it goes to hit, and you feel like it should have got through, and it did maybe hit a little bit, but as you do kind of pick up on it, it almost uses something to deflect it as it takes the damage as well, maybe to kind of cushion a little bit of it, as
Okay.
your blade doesn't stick directly in
It
and
doesn't actually
penetrate.
impale.
No, and immediately just kind of flips up, and you blink it right back to you out of thin air.
Okay.
Interesting little trick. I like it. Well done, trickster.
And that would have brought me out of Mirage, correct?
That
attack.
does drop you directly out of Mirage, and it drops your image.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
that was
thank
my
you so much,
bonus. That was my
In
bonus.
and out.
Okay.
If I hold my main, can I still use a main in reaction to something?
No, you can only ever hold a bonus.
You can only ever hold the bonus. Okay.
The only thing, if you pass it, you get stuff
I
back.
got my exhaust back. Yeah. I don't really need to do that yet, so I feel like I don't want to. Is anybody hurt on our team yet? Nobody's taken damage from any of these auras or anything we've done, right? Or any of the auras from the.
No physical damage.
Okay.
Whoa, what does that mean?
Well,
You wet yourself a little bit, but I mean,
Yeah, okay,
that's
yeah,
just
that's really
emotional damage.
Exactly.
is there any way I can do a similar shamanistic chant to push back like I had done before, or is the dark energy too concentrated in here for me to try to create another bubble of clarity in this room?
Roll a d20, but roll it at unfavorable at this point. So
Okay.
it's now -3.
-3, okay. Huh. With the -3, I got a 2.
For some reason or another, now that this thing has become this hulking mass, you really feel that this enchantment, that this heaviness is even more amplified.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm afraid to get close to this thing, honestly.
Okay, so you're not exactly moving.
Yeah,
You're still kind of like back up against that wall.
Yeah, I basically threw my blade from max range of 30 feet.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking I'm going to use my movement to keep my distance from him.
Sure. So are you at that point, because your back was up against the wall, you just kind of like strafing a little bit around?
Yeah, I'll kind of strafe to the side to try to lead him, or at least make it so that I'm not as visible of a target from where I was,
Sure.
even though it's bright in here.
Sure. You don't.
And I'll pass my main.
Okay, you do notice that it doesn't exactly follow your movements at all.
Okay.
It's strictly focused on the good doctor who decided to have this last-minute conversation about wanting to pray at the altar of the Almighty, and you kind of like shuffle almost, I guess, maybe a little bit behind him at this point.
Behind the dock?
No.
Oh.
Of the librarian himself.
Oh, yes. I would like to move aside also to draw less attention to where I had left my beacon.
Sure.
Because I don't want him to know that there's something over there worthy of attention.
Okay. And with that, for Burgher, if he's here, Marvin is up with Otis's gun. Marvin, who is essentially still propped up against the grand doors that have now closed behind him. What would you like Marvin to do? At this point,
Um,
have Marvin roll stealed.
Steeled. Okay. That's just a D20, right?
That's just a straight D20.
10 he rolled.
Marvin is starting to shake a little bit. He's starting to shake, and he just can't believe what he has just seen. And there's a part of him, and for the good doctor, you can hear him murmuring behind you. And the whole time, you kind of pick up on the fact that he's just going, "Stop talking to him. Stop. Just stop talking. No. Stop. Stop."
He's not buying it. He's not buying it. Then Marvin would like to, because he's kind of shaken, he wants to try to use his steady shot to try to
Of course he does.
steady his aim. To try to he wants to take a shot at the book itself. He wants to actually try
Okay.
to shoot the book as a way to either get it away from this guy or maybe cause the book to close and lose some power or something.
Not a problem. Go ahead, Marvin.
Okay. Marvin,
You're going to roll. Let's see. I will say that Marvin steadies himself enough that I will not have you roll it in any kind of unfavorable situation.
okay.
So it's just
So it's-
completely flat,
Just five,
neutral.
5 or 6
5
to
or
hit.
6. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Come on, steady, steady. You can do this, Otis. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah, he's talking to himself the whole time. He's just like, "You can do this, Marvin. You can do this."
And he channels the spirit of Otis and gets a 6.
Ooh, well done. Go ahead and he's trying to shoot the book.
He's trying to shoot the book. Yeah, he heard what Rev said, or I don't know if I typed it or said. I think I typed it. He listens to his boss and he thinks
Of
we got to get rid
course.
of this book.
Yeah, absolutely. Even
All right, so-
even as he's like crapping himself, he's just like,
Even
"Whatever
as
my
he's
boss
crapping
says."
himself in fear. Listen to the boss, man. Listen to the boss.
Absolutely. What does he
So
do?
this is a 3d10 times 2, and it's also a stun.
Okay. Well, you can't stun the book,
Right. I'm hoping it'll do something to the book.
and the book is stunned.
And 7, 9, or 6. Okay, so I did 20 times 2, so 40 damage
Ooh, wow.
plus stun, but it can't stun a book. So
As you go, as Marvin gets to one knee, pulls up the old gun that used to belong to the once great Otis Dirtbanger. He fires it directly at the grimoire itself. And as the bullet rockets at supersonic speed towards the book, the ballistic just gets enveloped inside of the book and disappears.
so it does nothing to the book.
It does nothing to the book.
Okay.
It just turns it to the page he wanted it to go to. He's like, oh, thank you.
All right. Marvin just shouts out, "Okay, the book's immune. Don't try that."
Actually, Marvin just goes, boss, wow. Did you just see that, boss?"
Thanks.
That's one tough book, Cookie.
He actually says, he just goes, "Did you see that, boss?" He goes, "I hit the book, boss. I hit it."
Rev's like, "Great. It did nothing, but good shot."
Appreciate it.
Marvin is now going to hold his dodge and also do similar to what Rev did and move off to the side.
Okay. With that, he kind of shuffles and moves his full, I'm guessing full distance here.
Maybe half his distance.
Okay.
Just to put some distance between where the shot
He does
came from.
notice that the Hulking figure does now seem to follow Marvin. His movements. He has never left the altar. Oh, even Pie Boy is now saying Marvin. Not even saying Marvin. My God. Thanks, Pie Boy.
Thank you, Pie Boy.
Jesus.
Damn it.
With that, the librarian gets to go. And with that, he is going to
Wow,
use his full speed and just scurry right up to you, Doctor. This hulking mass is now directly in front of your face. You can feel its breath upon you. The breath feels icy. It also smells just of pure corruption. You can see that this face now in front of you, it looks like a face of somebody that is beyond even dead. It seems decomposed, very sunken. But you do see across that it is some kind of cover that covers its eyes. It does not have, as you know, any kind of visual eyes that you can see, either if it's cybernetic or if it's just real. But it seems to know where you're at. And it reaches up its hand, its right hand, and its right hand seems to morph right in front of you and like fuse together and become a gigantic, dark, corrupted blade. And it's going to strike down right upon you.
Let's hope he misses.
Absolutely. And with that,
We'll see you next week.
it does 24 points of damage.
And there's no way I could have used my shield right then, right?
No, because it is your shield in response.
Well, I didn't know if I had the option or not.
It'll say in response.
Yeah, I think some skills will actually say in response.
Oh, I
to
see.
the attack, you can do something. Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about that.
We just make sure for you. Yeah, it does. It is not in response. You always have to do it before. Okay. With that one, you could try. Do you have dodge or anything? Any other option for you to get out of its way?
As far as an actual move,
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bonus, a utility,
utility.
called dodge or
The
something.
utility.
Yeah.
Advanced dodge.
If you don't have it, then
I know one of us besides me has advanced dodge.
Marvin.
Marvin has a
He has quick dodge. He has
It's not
quick
as
dodge,
good.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's it.
no, I just have like that into the shadows thing, and that's about it.
Okay, so with this one, you're just unfortunately gonna have to take the hit.
Do you have any armor? I can't remember if your guy has armor.
I have one for natural, and then total of +4.
Okay,
For
so
what
out of 24 points of damage, you only take 20.
Yeah, so there's some reduction. Your armor at least will protect you some.
It does soak up some there for you. And you are officially corrupted.
Ooh.
Dope.
Is that like a poison debuff kind of thing?
Corruption. Exhaust loss of 2 per tick or turn until he rolls a saving grace to get out.
Okay. So it's an exhaust drain.
So it's an
okay.
exhaust drain is what it turns
So
into.
it's 20 off of vitality and 2 off of exhaust right off the bat.
No, it's just 20 off vitality right now. In the beginning of your turn, you'll roll to see if you can save. If you don't, then that turn you will take a loss of 2 exhaust until you save out of it. With that, he is still in front of you, and he is going to do. He is going to do Leeching Life directly upon you, because since you were right there in front of him. Was the 4 normal on armor and +1 natural? No, he said it was 4 in total. He had 3 plus 1
No,
natural.
it's one natural and then +4 for what I purchased.
Oh, okay. Then you only take 19.
Oh, okay.
Yep, sorry about that. Thank you very much,
That's right.
Pie Boy, the mathematician.
Thank you, Pie Boy.
Save that 1 damage. Save it.
He is going to use Leech in Life. The Kabbalist uses this new dark power to place a curse upon you and begin siphoning your life from your body and to restore its own vitality.
Hmm.
So I'm going to roll to see if I succeed.
Come on, miss.
I
miss,
do.
miss. Damn it.
This is a what? A curse?
Yep.
Wait,
like a
did
life
you say
drain.
corrosive? He's now cast with corrosive?
Corruption.
It's a corrupted.
Corruption, that was it, okay.
Successful, which I am successful. The target loses vitality and 1/2 expended exhaust.
So I lose the rest of my vitality?
No, you lose 10. I'm sorry. You lose 10 vitality, because I have the number here, and then 1/2 of your already expended exhaust. So how much exhaust have you expended up to this point?
I don't know. I just keep writing the number that I have currently.
How much do you have currently?
19.
How much did you start? You start with ever?
Shit, I don't even know. I just kept erasing and taking it.
Roll a
putting
roll a
in the-
d6 for me.
4.
You'll just take 4.
So lose 4 exhaust, yeah.
Yep. And then you lose 10 vitality, and then he takes 10 vitality back.
Does armor mitigate that at all, or is that bypass armor, that attack?
No, it bypasses any armor
Okay.
for this one, just because it's upgraded. With that one, that actually is the last that he can do, which would leave now the good doctor to attack. And this thing is
Respond.
right in front of you. It unfortunately could not move any farther. It used all its ability to get up to you.
So using my shield would be pointless now, since the next turn it would be taken away anyway.
No,
Since he's already attacked.
use your shield if you don't want to take damage.
Oh, because he's just going to keep attacking me.
Yeah, if he continues to stay in front of you, yeah.
All right. So the shield will be the bonus, I guess.
Okay. You're gonna put up your iron shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So your hat lifts off your head, and just about like the distance of a hand, it starts to float and spin. And just put that beautiful plasmatic shield over the top of you.
exactly.
How much shielding does that give?
It absorbs full damage for 1 turn.
Okay.
And I will attempt to blast him
Ooh, point blank.
with my huh?
Point blank.
Point blank.
Because it is point blank, you're gonna get advanced accuracy. I'm gonna give advanced accuracy of 4, 5, 6. It's right in front of you. I can't see you missing.
I rolled a 6
Okay.
out of the 3. And so the
Which
damage
ability
is
this? I'm sorry.
this is the ion crackle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Now I have 3d6 times 2. Was that correct, or was it just the 2? I'm already freaking.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that you're writing that correctly every time. I'll
Well,
check.
it's stage 3.
If it's stage 3, that should be right. 3d6 times 2.
Because I remember the confusion was whether I'm rolling 2 or 3 to actually hit.
It is. Here it is. 3d6 times 2 damage. That is correct.
10.
Ooh.
I literally rolled 5 out of 3
Wow.
guys.
So
It's
the
a rough roll.
vitality that I took from you, you took right back. I took 10 from you, and then you took you shaved the 10 off. Not a problem.
There you go. You canceled out his heal.
You're just like, you don't take that for nothing. There's always a price to pay to take my vitality.
Oh, that does a stun though. Will that
Yes, it
apply? I'm
does.
looking at it. It applies a
Yes.
stun.
That he is officially stunned now.
You take my
Wait.
life, I stun your face.
Wait, what did he just hit?
Iron
It does do a stun. Is that an update? Because I printed out the new.
Stun is on there.
Yeah, I see engineers uses it's a personally designed wrist shot, fire single iron charged dart, reload required, but it does stun.
Yep.
Plus the damage.
You do damage plus stun. So he is officially stunned now, gentlemen.
Wait, what was he aiming at?
Oh, all right.
The mask that was right in front of his face.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
it says it right
okay.
there.
Yeah, they're having a face off. It's like this. It's like small doctor in this hulking mask, like right over the top of them, and they're just kind of like. It looks like they're punching at
duking it
this
out.
point. Yeah.
Okay,
But he is
okay.
stunned, gentlemen. So that means anybody who actually hits after does get 1d6 per upgrade extra damage,
Nice.
as long as it's
nice.
stunned. With that, is that everything you got, Doc? You want to like back up?
Well, I already did a move and a bonus, so.
Yeah,
You
but
can
had to
move. You can move.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand right in front of him.
Well, yeah, I'll freaking move 40 feet away from him.
You
We're
going?
gonna
You
have a
going back?
Mexican standoff.
You going all the way back
Yeah.
or off to the side? What are you gonna do?
I'll
Straight?
go around. I'll go around the. Oh yeah, we can't. Yeah, around the side just as far as I can.
Okay,
away
so
from-
he's taking a wide berth. All of a sudden, he does this cool thing, and he just like 2 steps back, and he's like,
He basically the police use the stun gun on him and then
yeah, and he
ran
just like
off.
he runs off. Okay, with
Yeah.
that, Voldo, you are up. What would you like to do,
Okay.
sir?
Okay.
You do notice that it seems stunned. It doesn't seem to be moving. Kind of like it's almost a
Okay.
little bit teetering, like it's drugged.
Okay, so you know what? Let's just go ahead and all right, you know what? I'm gonna just drop some blood arrows directly on the same exact spot that Doc just hit.
Okay.
Gosh, you know what? I think I'm just gonna sacrifice a 12 VP on this one, so I'm doing 3d10 plus 6, plus a d6. You said?
You got to roll to hit
Yes.
first, though, right?
Yeah, you
Oh,
always
yeah,
roll
yeah,
to
of
hit.
course.
Any of
Okay,
the
okay,
extra
okay.
damage is always done after you calculate your normal damage.
5.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Go ahead
Okay,
and do your
so
straight
okay.
damage.
let's do this. 8, 9, 4. Okay, so somebody do the math on that one for me. What is that? 21,
Yeah,
and then
it
it's
was
not, and then
17
it's
plus 21.
Another d6.
4.
25.
25 times 3, 75 damage.
No, okay. You do your normal damage,
Okay,
then
okay, okay,
times it,
21.
and then you add the
Okay.
stun after.
So 21 times 3,
63.
63 plus 4. So 67.
67. Oh, jeez.
Still pretty good.
I'll take it.
That's not 75. It's
Holy
only 64
smoke.
Yeah,
damage.
right.
67. Jesus. That's heavy.
That'll piss this thing off.
Right, we better kill it right now.
Yeah.
That does not come with stun though, right?
No.
So once it hits and it takes the damage, it snaps out of stun. Okay. You do notice
Okay.
that you get in a not dirty way, full penetration of all your
A very dirty way.
yeah, of all your arrows directly into this hulking mass's back as it kind of screams out in anger and in anguish. And it
Nice.
snaps its head directly towards you.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you got its attention.
Yeah.
So when something's stunned, when it next takes damage, that cancels the stun. Is that how that works?
Yes, if
Okay.
that ability doesn't carry stun.
Oh, okay.
So I
gotcha.
mean, you can continue to keep using abilities that stun one after stun after
you
another.
can stun lock something.
You can stun lock something forever.
Unless it's probably a certain boss that has like some sort of immunity, but okay.
There is the ability that some don't, but that is the combo that you guys could weave together.
Okay.
If you knew enough about, if somebody said stun and your next one, to like, oh, I can use this. Boom.
Right.
All right, Voldo, what would you like to do? Triple
Okay.
penetration on the first date. Exactly.
I mean, I'm not mad.
In not the dirty kind.
Yeah, I'm just covered in blood. I'm super dirty now. Okay, you know what? Let's Okay, so is this dude legendary or whatever?
Roll awareness. I mean, on pure just looks, it looks at least elite.
Yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah, that's what I meant. Legendary or elite. 15.
Yeah, you get the idea that this is the step above just regular everyday peons.
Okay. So if I pull off Matter of Death right now, I can't decapitate it, but it says if a 5 or 6, if I can't decapitate, or 4d6 times 2.
Right.
So that's what's going into play now, right?
Okay, that would absolutely do it if you do hit.
Okay.
Is this a you have to move close to attack kind of thing, or is this a ranged thing?
No, everything he's doing is ranged.
Okay.
Yeah. I just infuse whatever I do with blood.
Oh, I didn't know you could decapitate from range. That's crazy.
Okay. Dude, I decapitated a wolf with my arrows last time, so...
Well, you were standing on top of it, too, so...
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It was still the arrows.
I could have jumped in the air and done it if I wanted to.
Exactly.
Well, like
I decided to punch him first.
If he's doing something like that, then I would obviously give a little bit of flavor to it, that he creates a portal, he blinks right on top of him, does the thing, and jumps right back through.
Frickin'
I like this.
Or whatever that is, yeah.
But in this case, that doesn't happen.
Okay, I'm going to try and pull off a Matter of Death real quick. Let me see.
Okay. How far are you away at this point, on a guess?
I don't...
I think you said you were like 25 feet, right?
I don't think I ever actually said anything, so I'm going to leave that up to you. I don't even know how big this cavern is.
I think you're about 25 feet at this point. You're probably within 20. I'd probably say you have to at least, if you're trying to... Oh, this is just an arrow shot. Then you're fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got a 4 on that one.
Okay, with that one, that misses.
Yep.
So you do fire your arrow, and with this one, the hulking mass merely just slaps it in the air away.
But he cries out in pain because he's so hurt.
Not even remotely.
Damn it.
This hulking mass is now starting to get larger and larger.
Oh no.
As it seems to breathe heavier and heavier. As it starts to slowly make its way towards you. With that one, Rev, you're up.
My turn. Okay. I saw the kind of chunk of damage that Doc took, and so I would like to use my spiritual regeneration on him.
Okay.
Which
really?
Is,
He's so close to death, and you're just gonna do that? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't want Doc to die. I did have a question though, because on my sheet, spiritual regeneration does not show if it's a main or a bonus. So I only want to do this if it's my bonus, because I do want to do an attack as well.
Oh, if it's spiritual regeneration, that would always be a bonus. Essentially,
that would be a bonus. Yeah. Okay. So spiritual regeneration is the jackal hums an ancient tune of hope and peace to one weary soul. If successful, you feel the weary soul for a brief moment with the spirit of the ancients. So stage 1, it says if successful. Do I need to roll?
You always have to roll. Yes.
Okay, for a heal.
For that one, it is a roll.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm trying, Doc. I'm trying.
Yes.
6. I rolled a 6.
That's going to not hit. Of course, it hits.
Critical heal over time. So it's only stage 1. So duration is 3 rounds, and it heals 2 VP per round.
Yes.
So it's not a huge heal, but there's 2 VP. Does it 2 VP immediately, and then
it's 2 VP immediate? You get one immediately, and for that one, stage 1 and 2, the duration is 3 rounds in total.
Okay, so he gets 2 immediately, and then 2 for 3 more rounds.
And then 3 and 4, the duration becomes 5 rounds.
Okay, cool.
Now that's just by VP, not exhaust, right?
Right, that's just VP.
It's just vitality coming back to you.
I got a big lay on hands if we need one, but I didn't want to use that one yet.
Fair enough.
Okay,
What else would you like to do?
That was my bonus. For my main, I saw what Voldo did to this thing, and it kind of got my blood flowing.
Sure.
So
It got
Rev's like,
Voldo's
okay.
blood flowing. I mean, literally. He,
I
he has
see
to,
his
he has to
blood
keep
flowing.
cutting himself every time to do it.
I want to add my blood to it. So I want to use Fury of the Jackal, which I need to move towards it first, I think.
Yes,
because I
with that one you're gonna have to. He's moving away from you. You're gonna have to start to get a little bit closer.
Sure. So I'm gonna move as far as I need to get within 20 feet because I can jump 20 feet to do my Fury of the Jackal attack.
Okay, so you're looking at what is your full
My
speed?
move is 40.
Okay, so we'll just say it's probably about half of that to get close enough
so
for
I
you
move
to be
20,
able to
then
do
leap
that jump.
20.
Leap 20. Go for it.
Cool. If it's only a single target, I can spend one more exhaust to hit the target twice. So I'm gonna first see if I hit. This is my stage 3 ability. Nice. I rolled a 5.
Okay, go right ahead.
And since I want to hit him twice, do I need to do another successful roll to get that second
Always.
hit?
Correct.
Okay. And I rolled a 6 on this one too.
Oof.
Okay, so I get to hit him twice. The damage on this ability is 3d10 times 3 plus my penetration.
So you roll
and...
because that's the third stage for you on those, right?
Yes, correct.
So you're rolling 3d6.
Yeah, I rolled 3d6 both times.
And you only got 1 6 the first time?
I had like a 4, a 3, and a 6 on the second one.
Well, you probably got some more 6s in there, man.
No, I had 1 5 on the first one and 1 6. I was
fair enough. Go
barely
for it.
hitting there. Plus 8 is 23. So that's 23 times 3. So that's 69 damage.
Sure.
A 1 penetration and plus
Jeez.
1. So that's 70 damage with my Calarium Blade. And it says I get to hit twice, so I get to do this same amount of damage again.
Bring it.
Come on. I'm raging here. 4, 6, 10, 8. So 18 times 3. God, I'm bad at math. 36 plus 18.
60 times minus 6. 54.
54 plus 1 again. So 55 on the second one.
Wow.
That is minus 3 exhaust for that attack. This is my big beefy attack, man. I want to decapitate this thing is what I want to do.
Hey, we'll all take turns.
I couldn't take out its arm, so I'm going for its face now, I guess.
As you go to the first one, this one actually cuts through. You're super pissed at the first time you did it. He just knocked your blade away from you. This one finds purchase as you slice through. The second one, you just try to take it, just try to jam it into what you would think would be the small of its neck.
Okay.
And it finds complete purchase as it goes all the way through. And you just feel that this mask gives way.
Oh.
And just turns into, it feels like whatever it was physically becomes nothing but a mist. And just the robe or whatever it was covering, as well as the mitre itself that it was wearing, just kind of tumbles and falls down. And it disappears.
That's a total Obi-Wan Kenobi moment, huh? So I step on its robe like Darth Vader. Like, where'd it go?
As it happens, you start to hear rumbling from inside the chamber itself. Everything, the books, the shelves start to rumble as you start to see that the tomes and the books start to slide out from the bookcases and float merely in the air above you. The books start to, each one after the other, start to be fired and tossed at each one of you. Roll athletics to dodge out of the way.
They threw the book at us. Isn't that like a lawyer thing?
It is.
Athletic. Plus 3. 14 for me.
4.
Voldo?
Sorry.
I need to roll for
And roll for Marvin,
too,
please.
Wait, which one am I rolling?
Roll
6 or 4?
athletics.
6 or 20?
Athletics, a
Roll
D20.
20.
Athletics. My bad. 3.
16 for Marvin.
Voldo and the good doctor, you take 32 points of damage, of bludgeoning damage, as one book hits you up the side of the head. Bam. Another one in the leg, another one in the small of the back, another one right in the face. Rev and Marvin, you will take half of that.
Wow, 16 damage from.
As you are able to.
Is armor protecting versus this damage?
Armor would be able to, you can toss that in as well, any kind of armor rating.
Okay, so that would be 10 for him and 15 for him.
Can I use advanced dodge in response to this?
Sure, go ahead. Wait. No, you couldn't. You would not be able to, because you wouldn't.
Okay.
You've already have used all yours. You haven't been able to go yet.
Oh, that's right.
The librarian would have gone before, so
right.
you don't have advanced dodge. Oh. So 16 for Marvin, 16 for Rev. Is you do your best to avoid as much as you can, but you do get hit by a few.
Okay.
You do notice that even more books start to float out and pull out from their places on their shelves, and they just merely float over the top of them. All right, good night, Pie Boy. Thanks so much, brother, for hanging out. With that,
Can we run out of this room?
Well, gentlemen, you are each a serious pain, aren't you?
We're in serious pain. That's right.
No, bro, I'm totally okay. What are you talking about?
I didn't expect this, but I am sure you're not happy. But we will finish this now. Prepare yourselves.
the books start to form
Oh, you've got to be
into
kidding me.
that of a book monster hulking mass.
Book monster. Oh man.
The mitre that was upon its head floats and gets back up onto the top of this huge hulking book beast. And in front of it stands the grimoire, still outstretched and glowing, when not allowing him to die. With that, he will now attack you. I need each one of you to roll awareness.
Okay.
Well,
20.
you said I took minus 35, right?
Yeah, which one of us is
32.
dead right now?
So can I even roll if I'm...
Passed out or whatever, knocked
Yeah,
out.
because I'm like negative 20.
Yeah, he was pretty low. My heal was not a big heal.
Oh,
I was gonna say we're quite a few of us are
yeah,
about to
you
die
would
right
you
now.
would not be able to roll at that case. If that is the case, you can always get Marvin to pull you up, but yeah, with this one you would not be able to roll. Go ahead and roll a d20 though, quickly for me if you could.
I got 16 for awareness for me.
Okay.
I got 20.
Okay.
Marvin had 7 for awareness.
I rolled a 17.
Okay, so you actually save on one of your death saves. So if you get another one, you'll be able to stabilize. With that one,
Okay.
Rev and Voldo, you start to notice that those floating books that were above start to fling at you. This time, you know what's coming, and you're able to dodge each one of them. He seems to be a bit slower, though. It's taking more energy to be able to do this. And you do notice that the stars those gems above seems to be pulsating
Hmm.
and
I
flashing.
knew he should have been
Every
killing
time that
something
he
else.
does something, you seem to see a pattern in regards to that. With that, the librarian is going to make its move towards Marvin
Oh,
and
okay.
is just going to fling a book at Marvin.
Okay.
These super
Yeah.
deadly books that do too much
He
damage.
flings one of these heavy tomes and it goes right over the top of Marvin, who ducks and gets out of the way. Oh, with such speed and force, you would think that this book would have decapitated him.
Oh my god.
But as he even throws it, all it does is it spins over his head and it just stops in midair and slides back gently into the bookshelf. With that, Voldo, you're up.
Dude,
Feel like we got to do something to these
Dude, I got no
shards up in
VP.
the.
I got a couple VP left, so
Yeah.
you know what? Let's go ahead and drop a couple lesser salves. Yeah. So using a lesser salve, is that main bonus? One either or?
It's just it's always, if you're trying to drink something, it's always just a bonus.
Bonus.
Yep.
Always a bonus?
Always a bonus.
Okay, let's at least
Wait,
do one.
Unless you choose to make
Okay.
it your main. Usually you're
Dude, I need to or I'm gonna die.
Okay, go ahead if you like.
Or pass out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. 2d6. 6. Okay, that's 12. I'll take that.
Okay. So you pop
And
one of your
then-
salves and you pour it down your throat here, and feel some of that exhaust and that vitality spring back into you.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna stick with just one for now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and
Last words. I should
I
have.
know, right?
Take both of them.
Shit, you know what?
Should have took the blue pill.
Don't you have an ability that gives you VP or something? Because I thought you had
Yeah.
somebody get VP back.
Yeah, I take everybody off the field and suck their VP.
Yeah.
So
That was the banishment rift.
yeah.
Anybody that gets sucked into his banishment rift, he pulls VP from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that would
Yeah.
include you, it would include the doctor and Marvin.
What's the range on that?
Everybody.
It's everybody on the battlefield.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, that's why the last time I gained like 40 VP back in one go because there were like all the kids, all the rest of the
Oh,
bad
wow.
guys. Yeah. Shit. You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna drop another salve.
Okay, go ahead.
If I
Ed.
don't, I'll probably die. 4 and 5. 9.
Okay. And that was both you want to move.
Yeah, I'm gonna get as far away from any books that I can.
Unfortunately, there's really no place to go that doesn't have books.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up Doc's lifeless body and use him as a shield.
Hide behind it from the books.
That's great.
He can't take damage right now, right? Because he's already.
You can't
Okay.
take any more.
Okay, I'm gonna
guess.
do it then.
Okay, so he runs.
I
he
just
bolts-
say with a really weak voice, it's an honor.
You say that now.
he bolts towards the good doctor. It probably takes your full amount, so you're actually not really moving anywhere once you have him. So I guess you're just kind of like propping
Yeah, I'm
yourself.
just-
Okay,
And then maybe like I'll crouch down.
sure. Okay.
And I do like from Princess Bride, I'm like, drop your book.
Oh god.
With that, go ahead, Rev. You are up.
Marvin hasn't gone.
Oh, I'm
this
sorry.
turn
Go ahead,
yet.
Marvin.
Okay. Well, Marvin sees.
Well, actually, no. It's
You know.
it's you then Marvin.
Well, it should have been Marvin before.
No, because librarian goes and it's Doc Voldo back to the top.
Well, Marvin never went on the previous turn after Rev killed him. It should have been
that's
Rev, then
that's
Marvin,
right.
then it should have been Voldo.
Yeah, sure,
So,
that's right.
okay. So, so should I just go Marvin for right now then?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So Marvin noticed the pulsating gems on the ceiling, I assume, like everybody else did.
Roll awareness, Marvin.
Okay. He rolled a 5.
Marvin has no idea. He's been strictly focused on this thing in front of him. And now
Okay.
it's become a large book monster. And
Yeah.
he is just not, he can't make heads or tail what he got himself into at all at this point.
Well, Marvin doesn't have a clue what he should do with a gun pointing at a bunch of books flying around the
Good point.
around the room. So he does have first aid heal.
Mhm.
If he were to try to heal the doctor, would that stabilize him, or does the doctor have to do something else before he can be healed?
No. If he all he has to do is if he decides to heal, the doctor would get back up. Surprised at the fact that he's now on top of Voldo.
Yeah, that he's being propped up. He's like, oh, Voldo's helping the doctor stand right now.
That's right. That's right. Totally.
Well, then for his main, Marvin, because he can't think of what else to do, runs over to Doc to try to use his first aid heal, which is you can heal yourself for full or an ally for 2d4 times 2.
Okay.
So 2d4 I need to roll to try to heal him, I guess. It doesn't say attempt here, so this just works.
No,
right?
it just it's like a secondary heal with as long as you spend the bonus, it automatically does.
Okay, cool. 2d4 and a 4, so 6 times 2. So he does 12 heal to the doc.
Marvin,
I don't know if that's from 0 or is negative.
Yeah, it's always 0. You don't. There's nothing in regards to any negative that you have to get out of. What happens is Marvin, pretty much shaking, steals himself enough to see that the doctor has been down, and he's a little ticked off, slightly, that Voldo is using him as a human meat shield and not
Dude,
helping
I was
him.
holding you up, bro. I was keeping you alive, bro.
So he moves over, pops off the solve, and starts to apply some kind of first aid healing directly to the doctor, bringing you and restoring you back to life. And you feel a kind of like a heavy hold and tug on your back, and you turn to see just like a crouching and cowering Voldo behind you.
I'm doing push-ups. I'm not cowering.
So cowering behind you.
I just tell him, look, I can't lie. I probably would have done the same thing.
Marvin's
hard to be mad at
disgusted
you.
by hearing this.
Marvin's like, I saved you, and you're siding with the guy using you as a freaking human shield.
I didn't know you were gonna save me. I figured I would have used my shield to help somebody. I could have.
Oh wait, he had a shield. Did
I
that not
became a
absorb
shield.
anything?
I don't know. He told me.
Oh yeah.
That he's at 0. So I took it as that.
No, I had the shield on.
Okay,
But
then you probably would
32
have gone
points
down.
of damage is still pretty damaging.
Well, he would have been able to eat.
Well,
that
was it
one.
still considered a turn though?
Yeah, it was still in the same turn, so you would have been able to eat it. But at this point,
Well, can we say that since he did take the damage, his shield stayed on? Somehow the books just bypassed his shield or something?
sure. So let's just say that you're revived and the shield's on, and for some reason the shield just glitched for just a small moment, a moment that will stick in the back of your mind that you think to yourself, one of the many things that needs to be fixed. I must fix this glitch.
It looks like somebody else needs some upgrades.
You hear that from across the room. Actually, you don't even.
The only one who needs some upgrades.
So what do I?
You actually don't
so
even
what do
hear
I-
it. He takes the time to type it out.
So I'm back at what, the original one after I got the initial.
No, you just get
damage?
12. You get 12.
Yeah, you're at 12
You get
health,
12
but
health.
you still has
Oh.
the heal over time for me on him,
Yeah,
right?
so
he'll
he'll get
heal.
it back.
He'll get
Oh,
the-
so the shield didn't work.
No,
Gotcha.
because you That's the reason why the glitch thing. Because you should have said that. Reminded me that you had the shield. So let's just say that the shield is back on for you, at least at this point. It just glitched for some reason. These books got through and bitch slapped you around, and you think to yourself, shields can't. They seem to block melee attacks from any kind of weapons and guns, but books. For some reason, leather-bound books just become a problem for
The
shield.
kryptonite of your shield right there. Well, Marvin wants to hold his bonus and kind of. He still sees these books flying around, so he's going to try to use the rest of his movement to separate because he doesn't want to be one single target.
So what Marvin does is he goes up, he administers the first aid, and immediately just books it back. As far as his movement will allow him to do it.
Yeah,
he's getting away from Voldo and the good doctor.
They're like book magnets over here. So
he saw it. The doctor went down, and he had a shield up. He's like, these books. Okay. With that, Rev, you can go.
Okay.
So Marvin is holding his other.
Yeah, he holds his bonus. So
sure. Go ahead.
So that gives him 1 VP back again, or 1 exhaust back. So +1 is 5. Does the doc get a turn this one since he's brought back, or no?
It's gonna be you.
Okay. Well, Rev doesn't have a clue how to fight a giant book monster. Feels like slapping a book out of the air with his Naginata blade's not going to do good. He did roll awareness earlier, so he did notice the crystals and the ceiling flashing, right? He wants to see if he can throw his blade at whatever largest crystal he sees and see if that affects anything.
Sure, go ahead.
You said the ceiling is like 25 feet high and there's 30-foot range, so I can make this throw, right?
Yeah, just barely. But yeah.
Just barely. Okay. All right. And so Mystical Blade, I have level 2, so I could choose 2 die, I think, for this.
You're throwing essentially your blade into the galaxy.
Yes, into the stars, to infinity and beyond. All right, here we go. Come on, Naginata, serve me well. I rolled a 4 and a 5.
Okay. You get as much torque as you can to make sure that you're throwing, because you don't know what you're actually throwing it at, but whatever you're doing, you're trying to dislodge
some shiny object in the ceiling. Yeah.
So you get as much torque and you really let that thing fly, and you hit it just off to the side to make sure you can dislodge something.
Okay.
Is that I'm taking it? Or are you trying to sever it?
All I wanted to do was hit it. I'm not trying to hit any specific angle. Just hit it to either shatter it or dislodge it, whichever I can do by hitting it with the blade part of my Naginata.
Okay. With that one, roll a quick d20.
Okay. D20. I rolled a 6.
Okay, so you actually hit it right on, and it seems to, because it's you have the lance tip still on.
Yeah, it's the Calarium Photon Core lance tip is what I have on.
So it seems to just penetrate it and stick directly into it.
Oh, okay.
You do start to notice that your Naginata, it's because it's not a Naginata, your weapon,
my weapon,
seems to pulse. And as it does, it seems to pulse with energy, and that light, that whatever was emitting, seems to die out, and your blade starts to tumble back down to the ground.
Can I, while it's still lodged, can I use my extra exhaust to pull it back so I can see what this thing is?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have one in my pocket from last round.
Oh, you've grabbed one?
Yeah, I grabbed one in the last chamber we were in.
It's only in this chamber.
I grabbed some shining light. There were crystals in the wall in the last one that I grabbed one off of.
It's only been in this chamber.
Okay, there was something else shining I have in my pocket then. Never mind.
Okay, so I return my blade, and I want to see what this thing is. Can I
Okay.
like grab it or
It's not
inspect it?
attached to it.
Oh, okay.
It just seems to be like a shattered rock, but you do notice that the third light on your blade is now full and blinking.
Oh, so like I just absorbed a soul, basically.
You absorb some kind of power.
Okay. I shout out to the rest of my friends. These lights in the sky have some sort of power or soul or some sort of essence. We need to take them out to take out this book. I just shout it out.
Okay.
I have my bonus.
Each one of you
still.
guys hears that, obviously.
Okay.
No. They belong to me. The stargazers are mine, and their power belongs to me only. Do not touch them.
As he turns towards you now, angrily.
Rev realized he's pissed this guy off.
He's as pissed as a book monster can get.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to run away from the book monster while chugging a jolting juice.
Oh.
Which gives me God, I don't have it written down. Oh, I think I have it on my other sheet. Jolting juice gives regain 1d10 plus 2 exhaust, and all attributes are advantage for the remaining encounter.
Okay.
Because I need some exhaust right now. So 1d. Please give me more than 1 exhaust.
Please give me more than 1.
I rolled a 6, so I get 6 plus 2. So I get 8 exhaust back and favorable or advantage.
You rolled a
attributes.
d10?
Yes.
It's 6 times 2. You got 12.
Oh, okay. I must have an old thing here.
Yeah,
So
everything
2.
is times.
Okay, my bad. So that's 12 exhaust back. Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. Rev needed that. While running his full 40-yard distance away from the giant book monster.
You notice Doc, Marvin, even Voldo, as Rev does this, he's drinking and running. And his feet seem to be like scurrying extra fast. He's like
I'm doing the Scooby-Doo thing where they're like just spinning while I run.
With that, it's going to be the librarian's turn, and he's turning to go after Rev.
Thank God.
As this monster seems to turn, and it does lumbering, very slow turns. You do notice that the more books seem to get attached and kind of attach and kind of coalesce into like this one long arm that seems to reach out like 30 feet at this point now to you, Rev. Any distance that you've tried to create, he's finding a way to make up for that. And with that,
unfair book monster,
he's just going to try to like slam restrain you. He's going to take his open hand and just slam you into the sides of the wall.
Okay.
Do you have a dodge or anything like that you want to do?
I have a disallow, but I use both my bonus and my main, so I don't know if I can.
Okay, so you actually, you don't have any.
Yeah.
Does anybody else?
Using an item counts as an ability, right?
It does.
Okay.
Anybody else have a disallow or anything like that as you see it turn to attack Rev? No? Okay.
Anybody want to help Rev? Nope.
Wait. Time out.
I'm still corrupted and cursed, though, right?
You are.
Do we
really,
need specifically disallow?
You always have to have the ability disallow.
Okay, then yeah. Nope. Okay. Sorry, bro. I tried.
Voldo's still behind, kind of pops out. Sorry, bro.
I give you as a shield, but that's all I got.
He does hit.
Okay. So he's trying to slam me up against the walls. How much damage does this do?
24 points of bludgeoning damage, again, minus whatever your armor rating.
24 minus my armor, so 6. So 8. That's 18 more damage to me. 18, so 30, so that's 28. Okay.
As he has you pinned, he's going to try to grab and restrain. So you just can't move.
Okay.
And you are now restrained. You're
Can I
essentially just
use
pushed
power
up.
to try to fight back or anything
On your
from
next
it?
turn, you might be able to do that, yeah.
Okay,
But as
okay.
of right now, you're essentially just smashed up against the side of the wall,
So it's
unable
kind of
to
a
move.
like a root or a
Right.
disable kind of thing?
Just
Okay.
unable to move. You wouldn't be able to do anything unless you're able to get out of it.
Okay, gotcha.
With
Giant book
that,
monsters
Doc,
choked at me.
you were up. You just seen that Rev is now, who was running super fast, is now smashed jelly up against a wall.
Jeez. So I have to try and roll out of something,
Yes,
right?
go ahead and roll a d20 quick first.
8.
You do roll out of the corruption, but you
Oh,
do
nice.
take 2. You always take it at the beginning of the turn. You didn't take it last time, so at least take -2 exhaust. But now you're no longer corrupted.
But you also gain 2 vitality from the heal I did earlier.
Yes,
so
you
he gets
do.
that extra heal.
Yep. So essentially, you lose 2 exhaust, but you get 2 health back, and that will last for one more turn before it'll fall off.
Getting the vitality points.
Yeah, his heal. What would you like to do?
So we're fighting a buck monster now.
You're fighting some kind of monster, or essentially the spirit embodied of whatever that thing was. The librarian before is now embodied. He is one with the library. It is his domain. He is just creating essentially a book terror.
I'm gonna throw my last sticky grenade. Try and pin him to the floor.
Okay. He is about 15 feet away. Do you want to run up and just dump it on him? He's got his back towards you.
I'm gonna throw it. Just throw it at his feet.
Okay, then that's that roll of 5 or 6.
Nope.
I would have gave you an automatic if you rolled right up and did it. You throw it.
Why would I run up to him? It's a
Alright,
grenade.
You could have and walk away. You throw it and you throw it past, and it lands probably another 5 feet away from him before it explodes. You do notice that it seems to shake the whatever that is binding these things, Rev. Whatever spirit that seems to be abiding within the this book monstrosity, it seems to push some of the books and the tomes out a little bit before it tries to right itself. So it seems
What
a bit
the grenade explosion does? Okay.
just the concussive blast that it created. It causes the monster to stumble a little bit.
Okay.
And you see that, if anything, it seems to be a little offset, a little bit uneasy, unbalanced as of right now.
Okay.
Might be able to give you a chance to get out
Okay.
during that time. Doc, anything else you'd like to do?
That was so just throwing a grenade. What is that considered?
You did. It's always a bonus because those are the sticky grenades that you bought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a bonus. You have a main.
So I can't. I can't go over to Rev and try and use the patch him up.
How?
Yeah, it's
what's
a
your
main. You
speed?
can do that.
What's your speed at this point?
For 40 feet.
Yeah, you probably can get close enough. Do it.
Rev's like, yes, please do this. To
Yeah,
me."
I'm sure.
So it says
Rev not knowing exactly what's happening, but if he sees Doc running towards him, it can only be good things. After that horrible
so I'm gonna
toss.
do. So it says restores 3d6 upgrade level. This is at -2 exhaust.
Yeah. What upgrade level do you have this one up to?
Just That's the one I took it from this and I put it on the ion crackle, so I don't have any upgrades.
Okay, so it's just at 1. Okay, so whatever you got on level 1, go right ahead.
So level 1 is 2d6 plus upgrade level is what it says.
Well, at -2 exhaust, I could do restores 3d6.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's an exhaust spin.
So I just add them all up.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Came out to 11, 15.
Oh,
I rolled a 6, a 5, and a 4.
Rev, as being pinned up against this wall, you feel you see as the doctor gets as close as he can, he releases a drone out of his one of his compartments, and it floats over to you and hits you with this green. It seems like the exact same green coloration of these Rico tanks or whatever that liquid is in it.
Okay, nice, yeah.
And it just washes upon you, restoring back life and vitality.
Nice. What was that, 13 or 15? What was that?
It was 15.
15, okay. Nice. Very nice. Doc, you're the best. I yell as I'm fighting this thing. It says this also gives advantage on attack rolls for remainder of an encounter. From what I'm reading,
it'd be favorable for him though.
I was gonna say both of you guys have advantage now, I believe, right?
Oh,
didn't you do something that did?
So him catching me up gives him advantage.
Yes, it gives him advantage now. That's the benefit. That's not just a heal. That's all he gets out of it. But he now gets favorable on his attack roll.
Nice, that's cool.
Didn't your juice give you advantage too, Red?
Yeah, I do have my attributes are at advantage.
Yeah.
It didn't my attack was my attribute.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is plus advantage, right?
Yep. A favorable. All right, Doc, you've done both things. You've done 2 things. Okay, Voldo, go ahead. Tell me what you got.
All right. So I'm gonna use Red Rain, but instead, okay. So if I aim Red Rain up into the sky,
well, here's the thing. First, you need to spend half your movement to get up, because you decided to drop to the ground to hide behind him as a meat shield.
Well, but he's now no longer on top of me. All I have to do is I could be crouching and just pull my arrow and boom.
If you want to, I'm going to give it to you at unfavorable.
Because you're lying on the ground.
Because you're lying on the ground trying to shoot up.
Okay, but all right.
Spend half your movement to get up because you were not standing up at the time.
Okay, I guess I will spend half my movement to get up.
Okay.
That'll teach you to use somebody as a human shield.
And now I'm going to use a move that fires like 30 arrows randomly.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just go ahead and so if I use Red Rain and aim it up at the ceiling, it doesn't mean it's going to come raining back down. They'll all be raining up, right?
Is that what you want? Or is it? Just tell me, is that what you're trying to attempt to do?
Yes.
Okay. Then you're just trying to hit the ceiling.
I'm just trying to use Red Rain up in the sky instead of on the ground. So it should have like a 30-foot radius.
Okay.
But
sure, go ahead.
Up at the ceiling.
Nice.
5.
That hits.
Okay. And damage is 2d6 times 3. 5. That was interesting.
10 times 3.
Yeah, 10 times 3.
30.
And they're all just going up in the sky towards these rocks up there.
Okay. It's easy enough. I mean, you have a ton of real estate to kind of fire this up at.
Yeah.
You start to see some of them again pierce some of the gems themselves. Some just dislodge some of them, and they all kind of start to fall to the ground. Some just hit earth and such, and that seems to kind of come down onto the ground. In regards to that, roll athletics. Rev can't do anything, and Marvin roll athletics. The librarian is so slow to move. There's nothing really he can do anyways.
Okay. I have advantage on athletics, so that I have athletics.
Favorable.
It's a
favorable on athletics, so it's
+3.
+3.
Marvin rolled a 2 on athletics.
17.
Okay, Doc.
14.
Marvin rolled a 2, and Rev doesn't need to worry about it. He's pinned up. Rev, I'm sorry. Rev, Voldo, and the good doctor, you move out of any of the debris as well. And
I'm covered by a giant boot.
for Rev, I'm just saying that
Yeah,
you're not going to get hit by anything. Marvin,
Yeah.
unfortunately, is going to get hit by a little bit.
Oh, so sad.
Falling crystals from
Marvin's
the
going to
sky.
take. Marvin's going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. He's able to kind of move out of a little bit, but then he gets hit.
Okay.
But
Okay.
let me see.
And his armor would protect a little bit, right? So the one armor would protect from
Yeah.
one of those.
But then
damage.
Marvin's going to get hit again.
Oh gosh. 16.
The librarian gets a ton just smashed on top of it. And you notice immediately as some of the gems flicker out, and some come crumbling down to the ground and kind of shatter, that the restraint that was on you, Rev, falls.
Oh.
And his
Gotcha.
arm seems to just, all the books that were fused together by some kind of being tumble apart. The librarian starts to stumble backwards, uses his other arm to like brace it, but it now only has one arm. And you can see that whatever power, whatever force that is binding all these things together to coalesce seems to be weakening.
Okay. Nice, Voldo. Rev
I
shouts
got you,
out.
bro.
With that, Rev, you're up.
That was only one of my
I'm
moves.
sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
It was
he's got one other
it was
thing.
such an awesome move.
Yeah.
I just
I
thought
know.
it took
I
everything.
know. I know.
Mike drop walks out the room.
Exactly.
He
You guys finish
He drops
this.
the bike, and the doors that couldn't open before, he just opens.
Okay. Okay. So can I just take a quick look around and see like how many more of these gems we're dealing with?
There's still tons up there.
There's tons. Okay. Okay. Fine. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna hold my bonus in this case. Okay.
Do you want to hold it, or do you want to spend it and get some exhaust back?
I'm sorry. What was that? No. I'm gonna hold it.
Okay. Then it is up to you, Rev. Go right ahead.
Okay, as Rev drops to the ground and is released, is the grimoire still floating in front of this thing?
Yes.
Okay. With the weakening of the forces that are holding this thing together, can Rev make another attempt to try to, instead of creating a bubble of clarity, he wants to try to contain the grimoire using his spiritual shamanistic powers. Can he
wow.
attempt to contain this thing so it can't affect the world around it?
Roll a d20 against him.
Okay. Come on, baby. Use my shamanistic powers. I rolled a 20.
Okay. Within the craziness that has been ensuing, Rev, as he gets released, immediately was thinking this is what he needed to do, and he just, as he hits the ground, he drops to his knees immediately and goes into his pose. He tries to create a bubble of clarity, not around himself. He's pushing beyond that as now. And he tries to create a bubble around the grimoire itself. You successfully are able to do that.
Nice.
But as that happens, you feel the corruption start to seep into you.
Into myself. Okay.
With that, you struggle to remain focused. In order to continue to do so, you're going to have to pass your turn to completely focus and completely holding something this powerful. this is something immediately. This is the first time in some way or another you've had a connection with
Yeah,
this.
with any of these grimoires, yeah.
You immediately feel this is a power beyond anything you ever have dealt with.
Can I completely agree with that I'll need to use my complete focus. Can I, as part of my focus, use my um what is it called? Sorry, let me pull it up
Sure.
here. My blessing of the wolf, which is usually to revive somebody or full heal somebody, just to strengthen me in my attempt to hold this thing.
Sure. I will allow that.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to use my shamanistic chant that usually uses spirits to bring rejuvenation, just to strengthen me to contain.
What
this
it actually
grimoire.
helps you to do is you could feel the corrupted power start to push against, and even you can start to feel it creep into your mind. But with that chant, you're able to keep it at bay.
Okay.
So you can feel the corruptive forces there. It's now as if they're just knocking and pounding on the door, and you're holding that door up.
And Rev is using the spirits to empower him to keep it from breaking through.
Absolutely. Good doctor and Voldo, you see that floating grimoire that was in front of him closes, but it is still floating in front of him. It's no longer shining. Whatever power that was being used by the Dark Librarian seems to now have been cut off. And the librarian, their arm gives way, and the books crumble to the ground. And what you see in front of you now is just almost just like a two legs and a torso of books, nothing else to attack you with, as it drops to one knee. And Rev is in a trance-like state. Marvin is up next. Rev, what would you like Marvin to do?
Marvin's kind of out of his depth with all this mystical stuff, I would say.
Marvin watches you and sees what you're doing. And Marvin decides to run over towards you.
Okay.
And he places his hand upon your shoulder. And if anything, Rev, you feel protected. It gives you more strength that you know that, if anything, you're not alone in this.
Okay.
Whatever he can give you of his own strength, he imparts it to you.
Okay.
Marvin can do nothing else.
Okay. Rev can use all the support he can get right now.
The librarian is going to try to attack Rev.
Is this the actual book monster librarian thing?
It's always been the librarian. It's just his soul embedded into the into the library itself.
Okay.
The Kabbalist is going to try to attack you, Rev.
Okay.
It begins to chant. Is a chant of an old language. Is a chant you can't even really hear because you're so focused. The Doc and Voldo, you can start to hear the chant reverberate within the walls itself. With that, he is going to try to attempt to dominate Rev.
Dominate.
Unfortunately, everything that you have is completely favorable, and
Yes.
with the help of Marvin, only a 6 will hit.
Come on. Give me strength, Marvin and Otis. Yes!
The librarian tries to dominate. And again, Rev, inside your mind, inside this this aura that you're trying to create, this power, this sealing power. You start to hear the chanting outside the doors, and visually, this is like what you're saying is if Rev was inside some kind of cabin, and some monster was outside, and the Grimoire is in the same room as Rev, and Rev and Marvin are holding that door as the pounding continues to keep happening.
Jason from Friday the 13th
Yes.
pounding on the door.
And you start to hear, Rev, come out, let us in. Of all like dark things,
Rev, let us in. We can be friends. We can all be as one.
Rev pushes out the voices, and the
You
voices
have no power over me.
the voices start to become small and weak. And before you know it, the voices start to dissipate and disappear. And the pounding starts to lessen and lessen on the door. The librarian drops to both knees now, using most of its last energy to summon a dark and powerful enchantment and spell Rev. With that, for Voldo and for the doc, you will have favorable attacks for the remainder of the encounter on the librarian. Doctor, what would you like to do?
Oh, I like favorable attacks. I am going to dynamo disc him.
Nice.
And I'm going to try to put him into a cowering state.
Cool.
I will give
I
you
like
advanced accuracy, so 4, 5, and 6.
What?
He drops it.
Damn it. Didn't get it. I rolled a 2.
You try to take this disc and you slide it, and it just slides just beyond it. And you go to activate it, and it's a dud. Another one on your list of things that you should get fixed.
I know that Rev can't do anything, but can his hasted assault allow the doc to try that again?
You wouldn't be able to do anything.
Okay.
Just taking everything you can to maintain and contain this thing.
Okay, sure. It's like, I really want this thing to cower.
Try to bring it to its knee. It's already on its knee.
I know. You got to push it while it's down.
Okay, then I'll take that as my move. And
well, that's your bonus, whatever it is.
well, it says I could do either one.
Yeah, Dynamo Disc is main or bonus.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, it's main or bonus, so yeah. So which one are you spending to do it? A main or a bonus?
I'll spend my jeez. I'm gonna spend the bonus.
Okay.
And
Give me a main.
the main
Iron
will
Crackle.
be Iron Crackle. I'm gonna go for it.
All right. You might as well unleash everything you got. Hit him twice,
Yeah.
dude. Hit him twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can do a 3, 4, or 5 on this.
4, 5, and 6.
Or 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6. Advance after it.
Oh my gosh. All right. I got a 6 out of it.
That'll hit.
Yep. So 3d6. And then I
Times
take
2.
that total times 2, right? All right. So 14 times 2, 28.
Okay. Did you want to spend it again to hit again?
Yeah, you can do 2 exhaust.
You can do another 2 exhaust to hit him twice.
Oh hell yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Might as
do
well
it,
just
man.
go all out. How much was that again? I'm sorry.
That was 28 total.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
So I got to roll again.
Yeah. Oh, it's always 4, 5, and 6. Yep.
Me,
Did you miss?
I missed. Yeah.
Okay. So your first,
2, a 1, and a 3.
your first one, you fire, and it again. This one, he finds complete purchase, and the iron crackle just shocks like a shockwave through the books itself, and you start to feel again. I'm sorry. You start to see again that the spirit that is binding this together starts to weaken, and some of the books start to fall off.
Nice.
In a way,
Nice.
it becomes less and less of this monstrosity. It's now only like 6 feet when it was 14 feet. More books start to fall, and the books that were still floating around seem to just drop to the ground. Whatever power, again, that was binding them is starting to weaken. Unfortunately, the second one, you got cocky, and you try to do a behind the back shot, and you fired it high and wide.
That's funny.
Mhm.
Do you want to back away or just stay where you're at?
I'm not. I'm about 15 feet from him. You said.
Yeah.
I'll back away. Yeah.
Okay.
Just-
Okay. Voldo, you're up.
Okay. So with this guy, is he an elite or a legendary?
He's an elite.
Okay, he is. Okay, yeah, okay, just making sure. I wasn't sure if at this point I lowered it. You know what? Let's go ahead and
One of these days, Mike, you'll get that decapitation. I guarantee you.
On something other than a random dog.
well, no, actually, that's matter of death.
Oh, what is the elite and legendary that you're trying to figure out?
You know, I
first?
just realized. Oh, yeah, banishment rift. I don't know if that actually matters for an elite legendary.
Usually elite and legendary, it makes it tougher for you too.
Tougher.
They
What
do.
does
They
tougher mean?
usually they have abilities to get out of it.
Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's try this
Yeah,
out.
banish it.
Right. All right. Let's go for banishment rift.
Okay.
6. I don't think I have to roll after that.
No.
Yeah.
Banishment whiff. You open it up directly on top of it. I'm guessing, correct?
Yeah. You know, actually, to the opposite side of wherever Rev is. I don't know on any collateral damage.
Yeah.
So right
Rev
behind
doesn't know what's
him.
happening, so he'd like to not be banished.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Just slightly off to the side.
Yeah.
Okay. With that one. Hey, Rybach, thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate it, good sir. With that, you do open up a rift.
Rybach.
You
Okay.
actually, in regards to that, you jump towards it. You pull out your scythe. You again tear a rift into time and space, and you jump backwards. Immediately, the good doctor's dynamo disc gets sucked into that rift,
Sorry.
and it starts to pull whatever spirit that it was bound to this this monstrosity of books. The books fall away as if skin being peeled away, and a white essence is immediately sucked directly into the rift itself, and the books completely fall to the ground, and there's only silence. The good doctor roll power to keep yourself from being sucked in until you can close it.
Oh my gosh. All right, 18.
The good doctor has seen this before and just drops to the ground and becomes dead weight. And with that, you close the rift. or do you let it?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's close the rift.
with that-
Immediately after it gets sucked in, let's just cut that bad boy off.
You close the rift, and whatever heaviness that seemed to be in this area ceases to exist.
Oof.
Rev,
Yes.
you are still holding on to the book.
Yes.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm not physically holding it. I'm kind of like using
Well,
my.
You know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
You're holding it in a.
I feel like if I let up at all, this thing is going to try to dominate somebody here because I know that's what it did with Skag. It like
Sure.
took over him. So, am I able to communicate with the people around me at all now?
Roll a
with
d20.
this? Okay.
You do have advantage. I'm sorry, you do
I
have
do.
favorable on everything.
I do have favorable with my attribute. So with +3, I get a 16.
You were able to split yourself, mind and spirit, ever so slightly enough that you create a splitting image of yourself.
Ah, cool.
It is your ability,
Uh-huh.
but he creates a splitting image of Rev, who can talk and speak, and is aware.
Okay.
At
I
this
want
moment,
to
the
te-
rift is still open.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
When you do that.
yeah.
So after you talk about it,
Oh.
then he'll close it. So it's kind of happening.
Okay. Rev doesn't. Well, the splitting image isn't completely aware of the rift, so he just says, "We need some way to contain this grimoire. Does anybody have anything to contain this evil book?"
Throw it in the rift. That's my idea.
You do get a sense, Rev, that your
Uh-huh.
time to do this is short.
Okay. Rev takes a look at the rift. Does he know that that spirit just got sucked into the rift too?
He is not aware of that at all.
Okay. Well, that's the only idea presented to him, and he doesn't have a, lead line box to throw it in. Rev is going to try to spiritually move this thing without touching it with his containment towards the rift while not getting sucked in himself.
Roll a d20. Let's see if you can do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Roll
I hope Marvin holds on to him.
roll awareness and then roll athletics.
Okay.
Let's see if you can pull it off.
Awareness, I got a 7. Athletics, I got a 17.
Rev, in the image that you guys see of him, immediately disappears again. Whatever he had goes back into Rev's physical body. Rev only can think of tossing this with all his might into this rift, but he's unable to see the rift at this point. And what he does is he just tosses it, misses the rift completely, and slams it into one of the large bookshelves.
Can
Rev,
Can
you
he
immediately
technically-
snap out of your trance-like state.
can I hasted assault and attempt to do it again? Now that I'm out of my trance-like state.
At this point, you would have to physically pick it up.
Okay.
To
I
do it.
technically still have a move because that was only a bonus.
Okay, what'd you want to do with the move then? Catch it?
I'd like to reopen the rift directly underneath it. Like wherever it just landed, just create close the one I currently
You just want to try to
have.
put it wherever it is, you just want to dump it right on top of it?
Yeah, well, preferably like right underneath where it landed.
So it like falls in.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
With Banishment Rift, what does it take?
2 exhausts. But I'm also going to use Relentless Spirit, so it's only 1 exhaust.
Okay. Is it main or a bonus to do it?
Both.
Oh, so you can actually just spend your main and bonus to do it. Sure. Go ahead. 5 or 6.
5.
You are able to drop the grimoire. What essentially you do is you create a pocket hole. The moment that it hits the shelf and tumbles down, and the grimoire gets sucked into his rift within time and space.
And the moment it drops through, just close that bad boy right up.
Okay. And with that, you close it completely up. Rev, whatever corrupted feelings that you have are immediately lifted.
I am completely exhausted from that.
Beyond exhausted.
Yeah. Rev asks, "Are we clear?" Because he kind of is out of it from his little trance.
Gentlemen,
We look around. I feel like we're clear.
Yeah.
roll awareness. At least for Voldo and the doc, and
Yeah.
Rev
Marvin?
and Marvin are completely exhausted. It's taken everything.
Okay.
They
11.
5.
Doctor seems to have no. He thinks things are done and things are over. Voldo really kind of takes a look around and kind of sees that he doesn't seem to notice or feel any other kind of presences within this room. Enough that, again, Voldo, as much as you can feel, it feels like for a moment there's a moment of rest. Whatever you were dealing with is no longer here.
But those gemstones are still around.
And they are.
Rev's like, "Don't touch those things. You don't know what kind of energy is running through them."
Did
I
anyone
put
want
one
to
in my pocket using thieving hands.
go ahead and roll thieving hands?
All right, let's do it.
Oh God.
I'm gonna try it. 2. Wait, no, hold on. That landed in between something, and I got a corner. 11. Is that?
You pocket it. You pocket. Essentially, what you do is you pick it up and you try to like nonchalantly pick it.
Technically, that was a 14 because I have thieving hands. I forgot about that.
Okay.
yeah.
And you pocket it. Doc, roll awareness.
Jeez, 8.
Yeah, the doc is just kind of like looking around, just going like, "What the heck just happened?" And Rev is just too tired to know what
Yeah.
exactly you did. You have one of the gems in your pocket, and you start to feel, Baldo, that there is like a energy that seems to be emanating. There is a warming feeling that is coming from the gem itself.
Yeah, a warming feeling in his pocket.
It's getting bigger.
The good doctor and Rev, is there anything you'd like to do?
Warming feeling.
This could go either way.
Can Rev stand and start to get his bearings to try to figure out
Sure.
if there's any other entrance or exit besides the one that came in now that we can see better in here?
You do notice that there is an entrance, another doorway that was
Okay.
hidden behind the large flowing aqueduct ramp that was coming down, filling the aqueduct.
Okay. Well, Rev looks at the door and then looks at his companions and is like, "I'm spent. I think we either get out of here or find some place to hole up, because if we run into anything else hostile, I don't know that we can survive another encounter like that."
So at this point, we're the only ones in this room, right?
At this point, you're the only ones in this room.
You guys want to? You guys want to plant the other beacons in this room? You think this is like ground zero, or you want to check out another place?
I say we keep checking it out.
Yeah, I think one beacon in this room, just to make sure it's in the blast radius, is enough. I feel like there's more to this complex than just this library.
I personally feel like blowing up this complex might unleash something bad on the world. I don't know.
That's why I'm hoping we can find the source of this. But if we run into it now, I think we get shredded.
Let's cautiously go through this door then. I mean, let's get out of this room. Stay here.
Do you choose to check anything out before you do leave?
Well, it is a library.
Yeah.
There are some gems that are still on the ground and stuff.
Rev is purposefully avoiding any of the gems because he feels like this is corrupted power that he wants no part of.
Roll
basically.
a d20 for Marvin to see if he agrees with you.
Okay. He rolls a 7.
He agrees with Voldo.
Marvin is a curious cat and starts to look at some of the debris, and he starts to go into the middle of the altar itself.
Oh, okay.
Rev is curious about the other books on the altar, though.
There were no other books.
Oh,
only
it was
the
only
one
the grimoire.
grimoire.
Okay.
But you do notice there were 3 other pedestals
Oh, okay.
that were empty, though. Doc, anything? And Rev, from DM to you, make a d20 intellect
Okay.
to make sure that you activate the beacon before you leave.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm still at favorable from all
Absolutely,
jolting
yeah.
juice, right? Okay, then I got a 16.
You remind yourself to go over and activate it.
Okay, I limp over, press the on button.
Yes.
Flip the switch. Receiving signal.
Can I roll knowledge or intellect to see if I know anything about the gems, or if I could determine whether I can handle it or not?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a intellect or knowledge, either one, whichever one you have.
Yeah. 8.
Do you have both?
No, I just have knowledge.
Okay. You want to try to roll intellect for the sake of it? You just don't
All
you don't get any +3 to anything.
Right. 12.
Knowledge-wise, he thinks to himself, I know nothing. But then he goes, I'm smarter than that. Do you choose to just look at it while it's on the ground? And which ones do you choose to look at? The ones that are essentially inert, or the ones that are still relatively kind of active and pulsing? You touch it. Do you do anything?
I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. I was hoping I would be able to learn some, or if there's something I could draw from my memory or something. But I feel compelled to handle the ones that are not glowing.
Okay.
But
Would you like to try to pick up one of those?
I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'll pick one up.
Okay. You pick up one of the inert ones. Immediately in your hand, it's extremely hard.
Yeah, it is.
And there's traces of power that is coming from it, of energy. It doesn't seem dangerous that you can surmise at all. It seems like it's almost a amplifying stone. But you do notice
amplifying?
Yes, you do notice that it seems immediately you try to like crush it in your hand and you can't. But it's extremely light as well. It's a very interesting composite of whatever gem this is. And you did remember that he called them stargazers.
Hmm.
And Starfire is what I use to control my powers.
That is correct.
Stargazers, huh?
Go ahead and roll intellect or knowledge for yourself, Baldo, since you did touch it.
I also have mystical.
Sure.
So, and that's what I was actually going to try out too.
Go ahead and roll it.
16. Wait. I think
Marvin
it's
has science. Since he picked up one, should he
You can go ahead and roll it. Absolutely.
try roll
Okay.
science on it?
Okay, so 16 on intellect.
Oh,
And then can I also roll mystical?
sure. Go right ahead.
Marvin gets a 12 on science.
Okay.
17 on mystical.
Okay. You both get some interesting readings essentially from it. Marvin immediately can tell you what it is. Voldo, you know what it can do. And it is
Like
a
that.
amplifying stone that could be used
Knew
for
it.
Starfire.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It can be expended, but if used and housed properly, it probably could do some interesting things to increase output. Marvin tells you, and he can't tell you that they are essentially they shine like stars. Marvin tells you that they are called stargazers, and they're one of the most rare metals and gems. I'm sorry, forgive me, in all of Saldaria itself. That people and only ancient blacksmiths can forge it into starfire weapons that help amplify anybody's ability to use starfire by whatever amount that they can construct it to do so. But once it's expended, if just used in its natural form, it becomes inert. It has no other capability. But if forged into something else, then it could be something extremely valuable and rare. This is something that is not found, as far as anyone else knows, in many other places. But it could be, if used incorrectly, unwieldy and unruly, if in the wrong hand. And in this case, the librarian seemed to use it to amplify his power.
Rev does not want to touch it because he equates it with the grimoire.
Sure, that makes sense. There's a feeling
Marvin,
and feeling
yeah.
that he gets.
Marvin, on the other hand, goes, "Boss might want one," so Marvin's going to grab one
There's a
extra
pocket
one
one?
for Rev. Yeah,
He puts it in his bag. There's a nice
yeah, one
warming
for himself,
feeling.
one for his boss. Yeah,
There's a warming feeling that he gets when he picks them up and puts it into his bag.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is there anything
And
else?
what did you call them?
Stargazers.
Stargazers. Okay, grabs 2 stargazers. Okay.
Doc, go ahead and roll investigation really quick.
Gosh dang it. Hold on. 19.
Oh, wow. As you pick up one of those stargazers, the inert one, you immediately toss it off to the side, and you see something sparkle at the end, right at the very end of where the altar was. And the robe, the torn robe, is still there of the librarian that seems to be peeking just underneath it.
A light
Yeah, a little shining light, a little glow.
near where the librarian.
His robes, his tattered robes were at the time. Before Rev put a big blade through his neck.
And this is because I'm still holding this thing?
No, I said you took it and you tossed it. You just had an inert one. This is something through your investigation you just scour and see.
Well, did you guys see that? See that light?
What are you talking about? What light?
No, I didn't see anything.
I'm gonna go over and try and check it out.
Just barely underneath cover of that his cloak, you see a shining red like ruby pendant that was probably around or was being worn by him at some point.
Wow. Guys, check this out.
He brings you guys over, and you see essentially a moon-shaped ruby pendant.
Rev is still leery of touching anything else after the
Sure.
after thing, so he says, "So don't touch it. Can we scan this thing with our data jacks or data links here?"
Is that what you guys
Is there
like to
a way-
do?
I would want to check it out with Mystical, if that's all right.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a mystical.
Yeah, Rev has mystical as well.
Go ahead and both roll
Well,
mystical.
15.
Okay.
7.
Voldo, you initially get the feeling that this is something powerful and special. That's infused with enchantments. Ancient enchantments. Rev, unfortunately, is just too tired to, and he's just like, I don't want to touch this, and kind of walks away.
Yeah. He does look at the roof and he thinks, aren't there supposed to be 2 moons in the ceiling?
Indeed.
Ooh.
He just randomly says it, not like he's actually connecting it to anything, but he just remembers.
Kind of just says it out loud.
Yeah, just kind of says it
An
out
interesting
randomly.
observation that he kind of notices.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask anybody. Is anybody going to grab that?
You got sticky fingers.
I do. Because if you try to grab it, I'm going to use thieving hands. So,
Do you think it fell from the ceiling, or was it?
Can Marvin use science to see if he can recognize this object as well?
If you'd like to, go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to say, I also got science, so I can roll for that
11. He rolled 11 on science.
too. Can I roll science
You
on
just sure.
it? I got 10.
It looks like a pendant, a dark crimson, probably ruby, moonlight pendant. It seems to be on a very, very thick steel chain necklace.
Is there any way that Rev can just look through the books that are just strewn about
Yeah.
to see if there's any book that looks like it would have any information on this cult or kingdom that they're going
There's
through?
books everywhere
Okay.
in regards to the history of the Souls of Woe, as well as the history. As you kind of start to go through a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it is just the history of Quran, the history of Warband itself, the creations of sovereignless spirits infused together, known as night terrors.
Night terrors.
Ancient enlightened ones, known as stone gardens.
Stone guardians.
Stone gardens.
Gardens.
The history of Saldaria itself, in regards from the perspective of humans, as they come into the fold of Souls of Woe. Some of them are old magic tomes that you initially can see, but they won't unlock. You don't know the enchantments to unlock. the obviously the bindings on it.
Is there any tome that says exactly how long ago the last purge was that the Huron was released?
Going through it, rolling a quick investigation.
Okay.
You guys both of them leave the pendant. Not gonna do anything.
Oh, I'm gonna totally pick it up if nobody does. Like, let's be
I
real.
was thinking the same thing.
Either okay, which one
If
of
it's
you
got
guys?
a chain on it, if it's got a chain on it, I'll pick it up by the chain.
Okay, whichever you guys discuss who wants to take it.
I rolled a 4 on investigation.
A lot of it is more information than you can seem to comprehend.
Okay.
At this point in time, if you had time to sit and go over it, you probably could make heads or tails of some of it. But
There's
a lot
just
of
too many
this is
books,
just
too much info.
it's too much information. It seems like one book doesn't lead to the next book. Is they're
Okay,
written
sure.
sporadically, almost in place
Okay.
sporadically. Who did you want to at least take one of the books that?
I'd like to take the most, after a quick study, the most recent history that might be the most.
That gives you
up-to-date
some
history.
kind of idea of Quran.
Roll for it, Mike.
All right, let's do this.
Okay.
Highest
With that,
roll D6.
You go ahead and
D6.
you,
Okay.
you give
Might as well
one to
do
Marvin.
D20 though,
He
just in
slides
case.
it into
Alright.
his pack.
Okay, Marvin, hold on to this.
All right, boss.
14.
Dude, I got a 14 too. No joke. All right, let's go again.
They're Rochambeau.
Rochambeau, exactly.
5.
8.
So
Okay.
that means I pick it up, right?
Yeah, for sure. No.
With that, Voldo picks it up, and immediately a pulse of energy runs through you.
5-hour energy.
You don't know exactly what just happened, but you can't remember ever picking it up. You don't know, and you don't know why it's in your hand. There seems to be a glossed over, glassy look on Voldo.
Can
Seems
Rev use his
confused.
mystical shamanistic awareness to try to see what just happened to Voldo?
Sure, go ahead.
Did he feel this pulse of power that just came out? I rolled a 17.
You see that what you are able to see now, based on everything you've gone through, is you can actually have the ability to see faint auras.
Okay.
And what you would believe to be, for Voldo, a relatively black aura,
Black aura. Okay.
is now...
That's my normal aura.
That's your
Yeah,
normal
that's his
aura. Okay.
normal one. Is a faint red one, almost orange, that seems to pulse.
Do we know what color a bad aura is? Because I feel like black would be that one. But
did Rev get any sense of the aura from the librarian and the
At the time, no, he didn't.
grimoire?
No,
I didn't. Okay, so I don't have a comparison.
but
of
yeah,
what this-
with that, you always just kind of know the feeling.
Okay.
With Voldo, you don't get that.
Okay, so it's a different feeling than the grimoire
Yes.
gave off. Okay, well then I'm just going to tell both of them that pendant is causing some sort of influence, but I don't know what the source is or what the intent is.
Roll mystical really quickly.
Me?
Voldo, Mike.
Voldo, okay.
19.
Wow.
Dude, I'm
You-
rolling.
You get the feeling as you really focus that it's trying to attune itself. It's trying to harmonize with you.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
After you saw what the last guy just did to us and what he looked like when I had this pendant,
it could also give me superpowers.
Hulk you out.
So-
You're hoping for a Hulk Voldo.
Yeah.
With that, is there anything you guys want to grab before you go and try to see if the next door even opens?
Well, first, can I go ahead and just instead of holding that thing, it's a necklace. Let me just throw that bad boy on.
Sure, not a problem.
And then can I also pick up another stone and put it in my opposite pocket? So I now got 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
All right.
these guys are now watching you.
All right.
Rev sees that you're
even
doing
hands.
this. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in my underwear also, and then my socks, both sides. So I got 5.
You could take 2. They're
Okay, fine, I'll
they're
take 2.
relatively. They're not small. They're kind of big.
Okay. Okay.
Doctor,
The last thing
you do anything?
Rev just wants to check. The only other thing in this room that interests him is there was some sort of water coming down.
Yes.
Can he just inspect it kind of perfunctory just to see if there's anything he can see in the water or the source that it's coming from, if there's anything strange about this water?
The water itself seems to be clean flowing water.
Okay.
And it just seems to be coming down a aqueduct ramp and going into kind of into this like fountain that was bookended the altar itself.
Okay.
You do kind of put your hand in it and it just feels cold and refreshing.
Okay.
Not at all corrupted as you might have thought.
Okay. So if it gives no corrupting feeling to me, Rev wants to take a drink to try to
Do you?
Yeah.
refresh a little bit.
Okay. You go ahead and drink. How much exhaust have you expended?
Well, the jolting juice got me back up to 16, so I'm only down 4 now, actually.
You're fully, all the exhaust that you have has been fully restored.
Fully refreshed, nice. Okay. 20 exhaust, cool.
And then I'm also going to ask Rev, how many, your blade has those lights lighting up. Do you have any more lights that can light up on that blade?
No, I
No?
have a maximum of 3, and they're all lit.
Fully charged? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then can we also go take a drink of this water?
Sure.
Just because it looks cool and refreshing. Let's go do that. I'm going to grab a sip of that bad boy.
Okay. How much expended exhaust have you used?
Also 4.
Okay. Go ahead and take that all back. But good doctor,
I'll
would
do
you
it
like a
too.
drink? Okay. How much expended
Sure.
exhaust have you spent?
10.
You'll get 5 back.
Marvin also wants a drink, but he's expended 10.
Marvin gets 5 back.
Okay, so 16 health and 10 exhaust.
I
No-
also
no more
have that
than-
like fire whiskey, you know,
Uh-huh.
or the like moonshine stuff. I'm pretty sure it was called fire whiskey.
Yeah.
Can I empty that out and fill this water up in it?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Okay, let's do
Otis
that.
is turning over his grave. You throwing out alcohol from, by the way.
Okay, I drink it first, and then.
You are blistered drunk.
Yep. But well worth it.
Absolutely. Is that it, gentlemen? Do you like to continue on? And leave the confines of this library?
I feel like
Can-
we have to
wait.
continue exploring. Going back is not an option.
One more thing.
Sure.
Can I try to use thieving hands to slip one of these gems into Rev's pocket?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. All right. All right.
Rev wants to roll awareness.
Ah,
Rev
Shit,
will
yeah.
roll awareness.
Okay.
And his awareness is favorable.
Yeah.
14.
No.
Oh, wait. 17.
8.
Wait, yeah, even with less, you try to slip it in his pocket, and you pretty much have it is if Rev has pockets. Unfortunately, good old Marvin sees what you're doing and slaps your hand away.
Even though he has one in his pocket. Okay.
He's got 2 in his pocket.
He's got
Hypocrite.
Yeah, he's got 2.
Hypocrite.
He's got one for his boss and one for himself. But he doesn't. He does not want you giving the boss anything.
Marvin just goes, "Hey, I got it covered."
Yeah. Listen. Besides, I don't know where your hands have been. All right.
Covered in blood and stuff.
And with that, as you guys continue to the door to see if it is unlocked or not, we will end our session here tonight with that. I want to thank everybody who hung out with us tonight as we battled the librarian in the Great Library.
Nice.
To Mr. Rand 118. Tell these people where they can find you out, good sir.
Yes, sir. You can find me at twitch.tv/Rand118 and youtube.com/Rand118. And Shogi, great job. This is a cool encounter. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
To the good Mike, aka Volda here. Thank you so much, brother, for
Dude, thank you, man.
for
It was
slipping
fun.
those in. You now officially have the pendant of the Moonchild.
Oh, I don't know what it
Pendant of
does,
the
but
Moonchild.
The pendant
yeah.
of Moonchild when
Pendant of the Moonchild.
the pendant of the Moonchild when attuned to properly, which it's doing to, grants you 1 exhaust back every turn,
Oh, hell yeah.
and he cannot be
Ooh.
affected by stun while he holds it.
Dope.
And it does have a special
Wow.
power. If you ever drop to 0 vitality and would go unconscious, you do not go unconscious, and you remain at 1 vitality instead for 1 round. And this can only be done once per every 2 days, as it needs to
Okay.
be recharged by Kaio, the moon. Tavo is not the
Okay.
moon that was in the enchanted sky. If Kaio is not visible by any means, the pendant cannot be recharged.
Cool, man. What a cool.
Dope.
All right, and
I should have just picked the damn thing up.
you decided. You
You
to
tried,
roll
bro.
off.
You tried.
And to my brother from another mother, Shane, thank you so much, brother, for having us here tonight. I know Shane will not be here next week. He does have a work
All right,
engagement.
guys.
We will see if we'll be doing a session here next week. Just follow on Twitter or just check us out here next week if you're not. These go up on my YouTube at scottmoses.com. Go ahead. I don't know why I said scottmoses.com like I have a website. Scott Moses, you can always just click the YouTube link down below and get caught up with any of the other episodes that you have missed from the previous seasons. Until then, I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight. From Pie to Burgher to Rybach and to anybody else who stopped by, thank you so much. We do this every Friday evening. My name is Scott. This game is called Horizons Unknown After Earth RPG. I want to thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, good night. Keep it safe on the waits, everybody. Later.